Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. The Florida Panthers are one win away from a second straight Stanley Cup title. Game 6 tonight in Sunrise with the Panthers leading the Oilers 3-2. The Oilers will have Stuart Skinner in goal tonight after Calvin Pickard started Game 5. In the NBA Finals, here's ESPN's Shams Charania with the latest on Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton.
The belief is that Tyrese Halliburton has strained his right calf, and I'm told he will undergo an MRI to determine the exact severity of this strain. And remember, this is the same leg that he had ankle soreness in last week.
Shams Charania, the Thunder hold a 3-2 series lead with Game 6 Thursday night in Indianapolis. Olympic 100-meter gold medalist Noah Lyles has canceled his 50-yard challenge race against Dolphins wideout Tyreek Hill for personal reasons. Just days after Lyles' gold medal win last year, Hill challenged him to a race. Hill won 100 and 200-meter state titles in high school in Georgia.
Your summer drink is here. Twisted Tea is a smooth, refreshing, hard iced tea with 5% alcohol, making it the perfect drink to take any day this summer to the next level. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yuso. And Mr. Toby Tomplate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Tigers moved to 2-0. Shea Dixon at the College World Series. Shea Dixon later this hour as well. We'll get a check-in on Arkansas and UCLA. A lot to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
LaVue awaits, shores, fires, ground ball towards Dickinson, glove side handled, throw to first, and the Tigers stay in the winner's bracket with a 9-5 victory over UCLA.
Chris Blair on the LSU Sports Radio Network. LSU, you heard him say it, dispatches the Bruins 9-5, the resumption of a game that went into the weather delay on Monday night with LSU leading 5-3 after 3 innings. You wondered what LSU would do on the mound with Anthony Ianson burned, how the offense would respond, what the energy would be like, and we very quickly got all of those answers. Cason Evans was awesome, going 4 1/3 right there in the top of the 4th. Ground out strikeout, weak single strikeout. The bats come up after 2 quick ground outs. You turn the lineup over. Derek Curiel single. Ethan Fry walk, Stephen Milam RBI single, Jake Brown RBI single, just like that. It's 7-3. Tigers are off and running. They wouldn't look back. A little bit of a bumpy 8th, which we'll get into. But LSU wins 9-5. And now for the first time since 2009, LSU has won its first 2 games in Omaha, and they are in the driver's seat. Of course, in 2009, Tigers would go on to win the national championship. So we have seen LSU do it both ways. In 2009, they were in the winner's bracket, rolled through, won the national championship. 2023, they came out of the loser's bracket and got it done. This, I would say, is the easier path. Now we wait and see what happens tonight with Arkansas against UCLA. Here was Jay Johnson just a bit ago after LSU beat UCLA.
Great win for our team. Really proud of them. The mindset piece with the disruption of the game last night because of weather. I thought the response in the first inning after giving up 3 to come back and score 4 was very much in character for our team. I think Anthony did a good job settling in and getting us 2 zeros. And then, love the tempo that Kaysen set today. I thought he was outstanding, as he always is. And then, again, good job by our offense. 2 outs, nobody on, and get a couple guys on and get them in with more really good 2-strike hitting. And then Kaysen continued to do his thing and turned it over to Cooper, got us a big out, and then Chase was awesome again.
When you look at what LSU was able to do in this ball game, their ability to hit with 2 outs, to generate offense with 2 outs was pretty incredible. The 4-run first, obviously that came with 1 out, but the RBI, the Luis Hernandez RBI in the 3rd, came with 2 outs. Both runs in the 4th came with 2 outs. The run you pushed across in the 8th came with 2 outs, and the run in the 9th came with 2 outs. So an incredible job by this offense to be relentless, to hit 1 through 9, to be productive, to put up 9 runs, which was plenty enough for LSU to win this game. I think our tendency right now is to just start with today and think about what the decision to run Kaysen Evans out there and what happened subsequent. But I do want to go back and talk about what happened on Monday night because it was part of this game, and it's happened since the last time we were here. It was so disappointing to watch how the game started in the top of the first, where UCLA scored 3 runs on 4 hits, and Anthony Ianson needed 23 pitches to get through the first inning, and they only hit 1 ball in the air to the outfield. It was ground balls on the infield that were giving LSU trouble. The first one that, Dickinson tried to flip to Milam to throw to first base. He had another one where a bleeder that went through the 6-hole. They just kept hitting the ball on the ground, and it was finding space and creating trouble. And you wondered if that would be sustainable, and the answer was that it was not. And to Ianson's credit, he came back with an 11-pitch second inning, a 10-pitch third inning, and because it moved with a little bit of pace, you were able to get through 3 innings before the weather came. The bottom of the first, though, I don't want to overstate it, but it was just the most critical part of this game. Because yesterday on the show, if you remember, Nick Cope was here, the play-by-play guy for UCLA, and he shared an incredible stat with us. UCLA this year was 26-1. 26-1 this season when they scored first. That A team is very comfortable playing with a lead. And not only did they score first, they got up 3-0 on you in the top of the first, and you immediately responded with a gigantic rally. After Derek Curiel grounded out on the first pitch of the game, Ethan Fry, single. Stephen Milam, double. Jake Brown, an RBI single on an 0-2 pitch, by the way, to make it 3-1. Then Jared Jones comes up with the big swing to push it to 4-3. For everyone who's wondered, should Jones come out of the lineup? Hell no. That's why Jared Jones never comes out of your lineup. I told you, I was at Fenway last Friday, and I watched Aaron Judge start 0-for-3 with 3 strikeouts against Garrett Crochet. And then in the 9th inning, he hits a shot out of the stadium, tied the ball game. That's why. I tell you this all the time. It's just what baseball is now. You don't see walks and hit and runs and stolen bases and bunts. You don't see it anymore. You see that. You see dudes who might go 1-for-4 with 3 strikeouts, but when the one's a 3-run bomb, perfect. For Jared Jones, he did more than just go 1-for-4 with 3 strikeouts. He had a fantastic day offensively across 2 days, which we'll talk about. So you're up 4-3 just like that. And I don't want to underscore or understate the importance of Luis Hernandez's RBI single in the 3rd, especially in the context when you look forward, when in the 8th, they had a little bit of an uprising. It's 8-5 in that situation. They have the bases loaded. You can look back, and I understand LSU got an insurance run, and Chase Shores was awesome and slammed the door. But Luis Hernandez, remember that sequence in the 3rd. You lead off the inning with a 9-pitch walk by Fry. Then Milam walks. They bring in the lefty to face Jake Brown. And that's when Brown tried to bunt. Ugh, he struck out trying to bunt. Why are you bunting Jake Brown anyway? Then you go strike out Jared Jones. So Luis Hernandez is now up. Remember, they led off the inning back-to-back walks. They gave you back-to-back walks to start the inning. You're about to waste that opportunity. Luis Hernandez, 2 outs, boom, RBI single, the run comes home. It's 5-3, and that's when we'd ultimately see it go to the weather delay after that. So not only was Luis Hernandez's single there huge, I thought Daniel Dickinson, the little flare that he hit with 2 outs in the 7th, he didn't hit it hard, hit it right off the end of the bat, but they were playing him deep, and he found grass that made it 8-3. And then the RBI single by Jared Jones in the bottom of the 8th, I thought was critical. I mean, you found a way to manufacture a run after Curiel grounded out. Ethan Fry walked. They went to Hawk. He strikes out Milam. Jake Brown singles on the first pitch. Then here comes Jared Jones with another RBI single. He was awesome. The middle of your lineup in this ball game was terrific, and it's one of those things that makes LSU so dangerous that they have the ability to hit 1 through 9. It's not to say that everyone's going to hit every game 1 through 9, but they have the ability. And in this game, when you look at LSU's run production, Milam had an RBI, Brown had 2 RBI, Jones had 4, and Hernandez had 1. That's 4, 6. That's 8 of your 9 RBI came from your 3, 4, 5, 6 hitters. So on a day where Derek Curiel was 1 for 4, Ethan Fry was 1 for 2. He walked 3 times. You found ways to get on base. Ethan Fry scored 4 runs in this ball game. You found a way to get your table setters on and your run producers to drive them in, and you put up 9 runs. And not only did you put up 9 runs, but in this game you also left double-digit men on base. You had 12 hits, and I'm looking for the left on base, but I think it was 10. LSU had 10 left on base. So you scored 9 runs on 12 hits, and you left 10 on base. I mean, you were constantly applying pressure to their pitching staff, and it was just an awesome day across 2 days for LSU, and not just across 2 days with the interruption, but UCLA ran out 9 pitchers. They ran out 8 pitchers in the game. Make sure it was 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. They ran out 8 pitchers in this ball game, and John Savage consistently was trying to find matchups, and it worked for him in the 6th. In the 6th inning, after you went infield single by Stanfield, and they hit Derek Curiel, they get the strikeout of Ethan Fry. So you got 2 out, and here comes Steven Milam. They go get the lefty to turn Milam around to the right side, and then with Jake Brown to follow, they got an advantage with the lefty on the mound, and it works right there. He goes Milam fly out, Jake Brown ground out, and all of a sudden he's out of the inning. So there were times where it worked for John Savage, but going to Hawk, his closer, Easton Hawk, in the 8th was a calculated risk that just blew up in his face, and now he probably doesn't have his best bullpen arm for tonight against Arkansas. So all that to say, LSU's offense kept having different arms, different looks, different arm slots, lefty, righty, thrown at them throughout the course of this game, and they continued to adjust beautifully. I thought it was a great day offensively for LSU, considering all the variables they had thrown at them. We have to talk about the pitching plan as well and what they did with Case and Evans, which if you're here yesterday or on Locked on LSU or any of the times we talked about it, fully endorsed going to Case and Evans for exactly the reason it played out. I want to talk about that and what it means for LSU on Wednesday, potentially Thursday as well, as we continue our show. Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR and the official beer of the Tigers. So if you're listening or watching in Omaha, make sure, even if you're at Rocco's, you're mixing a Jell-O shot, whatever, make sure you got plenty of ice-cold Bud Light. Support the beer that supports the Tigers. That's Bud Light, the official beer of the LSU Tigers. You can still find your officially licensed LSU 16-ounce aluminum bottles. So if you're at game watch parties, hanging at the house, whatever it may be, make sure you got plenty of ice-cold Bud Light, the official beer of AFR and the official beer of the LSU Tigers in their march all the way through Omaha. All right, let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, talk a little bit about how LSU handled pitching in this game and what I think they'll do moving forward. Don't you move. It's AFR.
After further review.
Love telling you about the Watermark and the Renaissance, 2 amazing hotel properties, Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Watermark Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. If you've never been inside the Watermark, what are you waiting on? Watermark voted by you the best hotel in the best of 225. It is quite literally the premier hotel in Baton Rouge. So if you have friends, company, relatives coming in from out of town, need a place to stay, tell them to stay at the Watermark. It's a gorgeous way to experience downtown in this historical building that's been modernized with all the amenities that you need. the Gregory, amazing restaurant right there in the lobby of the hotel. The lobby bar is an outstanding place to have a cocktail, a glass of wine, to people watch a little bit. Little staycation this summer. You're not hitting the road to get out of town. You want to stay in Baton Rouge and experience all that downtown Baton Rouge has to offer. Stay downtown at Watermark Baton Rouge. And, of course, they can host your next event. It's the premier hotel property in Baton Rouge. Watermark Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Louisville Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luva, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
The 1-2, and a swing and a miss. Again, that off-speed pitch just falls off the table and ball's nowhere close, swinging over the top of Evans.
Yeah, Coach Johnson had told me that once we got out of the delay that I would be on the mound, and then it got rolled over to today, so I mean, just went back to the hotel and got ready for today, woke up early, and I mean, the mindset stays the same no matter when I come in the game, if I start or if I close. So I was just going out there and doing my best to help my team win.
Kason Evans, 4 1/3 of 2-run ball, just 4 hits. He struck out 5, did not walk anybody. Of course, those 2 runs were given up by Cooper Williams, but charged to Kason Evans as he left with those 2 men on base. The thing about that cut from Kason Evans that stands out the most to me is Jay Johnson told him on Monday night he was going in whenever the delay ended. It just rolled over to today. So as much as we talked about it, debated, thought what Jay might do, there was never any hesitation. And I think it's a really good illustration of mindset in a tournament and how it differs from the regular season. This might sound obvious, but I'm going to say it just so we have the conversation. In a regular season where you're going into a weekend, you know you have 3 games and your objective is to to try to win 2 out of 3 games. You'd love to win them all, but realistically, you want to put yourself in a position to win a weekend. And that's also the case when you get to the championship series in Omaha. But you have to get there. And so you're looking at the best path to get there. And the best path is to stay in the winner's bracket. And so whatever you have to do to start 2-0, you do that. It's the same reason you started Anthony Ianson in game 2. Why did you start Cade Anderson in game 1? Like, you know the answer, but why did you gave you the best shot of starting 1-0? Why did you start Anthony Ianson in game 2? We all know the statistics. There's been 4 teams that have lost that have come out of the losers bracket in this format to win it. Like, overwhelmingly, you win your first 2 games, you're going to go to the championship series and have a chance to win the national championship. So you go all in to win those first 2 games. You can't win them both if you don't win the first. If you win the first, you can't win them both if you don't win the second. So your best arm available yesterday was Ianson. When he was burned, you're going to your next best arm. And that was Casey Evans. It helped that you had a 5-3 lead. Probably helped make that decision much easier. I know there's all the conversation. Would you save him for Wednesday to pick? No, you don't. It's the same reason why the game that's about to be played in 2 hours and 39 minutes, why Dave Van Horn is going to Zach Root. Root threw 38 pitches against LSU on Saturday. Now, on 2 days' rest, he's coming back to pitch tonight against UCLA to try to save their season. Because for Arkansas at this point, every game is an elimination game. You could say, wouldn't it make sense to save Zach Root to try to throw against LSU to force a game on Thursday? Sure. But you got to get to that game on Wednesday. Well, how do you do that? You got to beat UCLA tonight. Who's your best available arm? Zach Root, you throw it. Look at what John Savage did in the 8th inning going to Easton Hawk. His closer. Down 3 runs in the 8th, he went to his closer. Down 3 runs in the 8th, knowing if they lose, they got to come back in a few hours and play Arkansas. Didn't matter. Had to keep it as close as possible to give his offense a shot to win in the 9th. Blew up in his face. Didn't work. But that's the approach that coaches take in this tournament. You got to go win now. And so going to Casey Evans was 100% the right decision. This isn't hindsight. Put it on Twitter. Talked about it on Morning Scone. Talked about it yesterday on Locked On LSU. I think most people agreed. But some of you didn't. Throwing Casey Evans was 100% the right decision. He was your best arm. You're trying to start 2-0. You throw your best arm to make sure you start 2-0. It's exactly what you did, and he delivered. 4 1/3. He was awesome. He handcuffed UCLA, got you within 5 outs of finishing this ball game, and allowed the offense to pile on UCLA. And now it's given you options for Wednesday. So hat tip to Casey Evans. He was exactly what you needed. I think the only question we could ask is, should you have pulled him in the 8th? Because and I know they were talking about it on the broadcast, and Evans was starting to wobble a little bit. In that situation, he got Chalowski to foul out to start the 8th. Their best hitter. He got him a pop foul to third base. And you're going, you just got the best hitter in the lineup out. Easy, little pop foul. He's going to cruise here through the 8th. He'll be facing the bottom of the order in the 9th. And then he gives up a single, uncorks a wild pitch, hits a guy, and it's over. It's just over at that point. So they got Cooper Williams. And it's easy to look in hindsight and see that Cooper Williams went walk, RBI fielder's choice, infield single, walk, and he's out of the game after getting only 1 out. It's easy to say that, but Cooper Williams had been good for you. He was really good for you in the postseason to this point. So, if anything, the conversation could be, should you have left Casey Evans in? I think he handled it. They handled it beautifully, especially with all the lefties in the UCLA lineup, 6 lefties, to go to the lefty Cooper Williams. I think it was the right call. You just live with the result. And then Chase Shores came in and got you the final 4 outs. I mean, so look, he got to face the 9-hole, but bases loaded, 1 pitch gets the ground ball to Milam at short, and get you out of it. So as you look ahead now to what could be available at LSU on Wednesday, there's a lot of different things here that Jay Johnson and Nate Yeske are going to have to weigh. I think, first of all, it's a huge benefit that you're not going to face Zach Root. And you faced him twice, and you beat him twice. But, I mean, the first go-round, he allowed 2 runs in 6 innings. It was really good. On Saturday, you chased him in the second inning, but it wasn't like you were hitting him hard. He walked a couple guys, gave up a single. That'll get you out of sorts. I mean, the first 2 runs he allowed were 2 guys that he walked. So, anyway, I look at it for Wednesday, understanding your option for Thursday is Cade Anderson if you get there. Remember, let history be your best teacher. 2 years ago, Jay Johnson, this coach, in this situation, won with Paul Skeens in game 1. And when they got to Thursday, on 4 days rest, which is basically what, I mean, in the big leagues, you pitch every 5th day. It's what all these guys want to be. Cade Anderson's about to be potentially the number 1 pick in the draft. He'll be pitching every 5th day come end of July or August. So Cade Anderson, with every bit of my being, everything that I could wager in my life and my existence, if this goes to Thursday, Cade Anderson is starting for LSU. There is no doubt whatsoever. We saw Jay do it with Skeens. It's a win or your season is over proposition. Cade Anderson will throw for LSU on Thursday if you get there. The question is, how do you avoid getting there? And you got a couple of options. You could start Jaden Newt. And, for the final few weeks of the season, we had seen LSU kind of stack Newt, Shores, Myers. And it had worked well. It just blew up on you against Little Rock on that Sunday because Newt and Shores couldn't throw strikes. You could do that. You could start Zach Cowan. And again, it didn't go great for Zach Cowan on that Monday against Little Rock. And 4 of his last 5 outings have been not good. So I understand all of the hesitation about either of those options. The other option that you have is you could go back to Anthony Ianson. And I'm not so sure that I would start Anthony Ianson in that ball game because you do have a game to play with. I'm looking at, I think Arkansas behind Zach Root is going to beat UCLA tonight. I think UCLA is dead in the water. I don't think they're a great offensive team. Their best offensive player has been in a hole the entire postseason, and they used 8 pitchers in this game against LSU. I understand the stat everybody's seen. They got 17 guys or whatever it is that have all thrown 14 innings or whatever the number is. Great. They got a lot of guys. What it means is you don't have a handful of guys that are awesome. It means you got to use a whole bunch of dudes to get through it. Against Arkansas's offense, I don't think that's going to be great. Now, Arkansas's offense has struggled. They've only scored 4 runs in 2 games. But I think Arkansas wins this game tonight behind Zach Root. So you're going to face Beitelschieß, very likely, I think, tomorrow on Wednesday. It's a Sunday arm in the SEC. You should have the option of kind of going that bullpen day, starting Cowan or Newt, see how it goes, and you play it through there. And if you get to Thursday, you've got Anderson queued up, and then potentially Ianson behind him. That wouldn't be ideal because you'd love to start Anderson on Thursday if you get there and have Ianson ready for game 1 of the championship series. But again, you got to get there. So you worry about what it looks like when you get there. It's also worth noting if you get to Thursday, Kason Evans would be ready again. Kason Evans threw 68 pitches today. He threw 68 pitches. So Kason Evans threw 68 pitches here on Tuesday. With a day off Wednesday, he could give you something on. You didn't get 1 inning to close the game. He could do that for you. Chase Shores, depending on what happens the next day or 2 days, could do that for you. You'd have those options. Or you could throw Ianson in relief one of the next 2 days, and Evans would be full on ready to start for you game 1 of the championship series. So Jay Johnson and Nate Yeske have options. They have good options moving forward. It's why it's so important to win the first 2 games, because it gives you incredible options, even with this delay that transpired and only getting Ianson for 9 outs on Monday night. But Ianson, if you need Ianson on Wednesday to come in and close the game for you, like let's say you go Newt or Cowan, Shores, Myers, and you got a lead and Ianson's available, you need him to go get you 9 outs to finish it, all right. He can do that. He can absolutely come back on Wednesday and give you that. But all this is to illustrate they've got options. I think it'll be Cowan or Newt to start against what I think will be Arkansas on Wednesday. But Wednesday, Thursday, Cade Anderson, Ianson available in relief. You've got options, and really good options. It's what happens when you have a deep staff with 8 guys that all throw 95 or better that are really talented and have pitched big innings for you this year. So Tigers 2-0 and in fantastic position moving forward. All right, we're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana. If you're hitting the road to Omaha, before you do, bring your vehicle to Shaw Bills, get those tires rotated, get that oil changed. It's Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Whatever maintenance you may need on your vehicle, or if you're shopping new tires, Shaw Bills has name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they treat you like family. It's Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service. Been doing it since 1968. Find the location nearest you or schedule service online at ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. Okay, quick break. We'll come back. Normally we talk to Shea Dixon in the second segment there on Tuesdays. Wanted to make sure I got a full recap of baseball. Let me break, come back. We'll talk some recruiting with Shea Dixon, and we'll get back into the College World Series preview of tonight's game with Arkansas and UCLA. John Nabors in 1 hour. A lot to do, and glad you're here. It's AFR.
After further review.
Not sure if you saw it, but there was a brown flag with a gold block G flying over the Chuck in Omaha on Tuesday. Oh, yes. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon and get it done. Of course, Gordon, a fantastic supporter of the Tigers, as he has been with members of the G team for as long as NIL has been a thing now. Got guys like Bear Jones and Michael Braswell, great members of the G team that are there representing the Tigers on this path to Omaha. And Gordon bought 888 Jell-O shots for every day the Tigers are in the field. So another day means tomorrow our guy Will Helmers will be dishing out 888 Jell-O shots over at Rocco's, courtesy of Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You've been injured in an accident. It's not your fault. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Get back to the College World Series talk. We always appreciate Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We talked to Shea Dixon from On 3, the Bengal Tiger, every week, and with a massive recruiting weekend ahead and some waves here so far this week, we had to visit with Shea. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you, Matt?
Really well. Okay, let's start with the drama with Tristan Keys and Lamar Brown. I guess we'll start with Lamar. A visit at A&M, announced via Hayes Fawcett he wasn't going to take his visit to LSU this weekend. Now he is going to take his visit to LSU. What's going on there?
Yeah, I guess like most drama, it ultimately is cyclical and turns out to be nothing. But Lamar Brown had his Texas A&M OV this past weekend, official visit to College Station, and came back on Sunday. And that night, I guess it was, had put out that he was no longer going to visit LSU this weekend for his final official visit in the month of June. And we've talked every week. I mean, he's been from Miami to Texas A&M, now LSU. He's hit a number of campuses each weekend. And then we'll talk about this more in a second, I'm sure. But the NCAA recruiting calendar goes dead after this weekend. So LSU, the final team to get him on campus, and I don't think there was really ever a doubt that he wasn't going to take that or make that visit to the hometown team this coming weekend. So what was it, less than 24 hours? He had then kind of cleared the air and said he was locked in and sticking with the original plan. So the U-High 5-star will be on campus this weekend.
Why did he initially announce he wasn't? Like, what would be the thought behind not taking the visit initially?
My best guess would be that the Texas A&M side, which had just hosted him and I've always felt was the biggest threat to LSU, said, hey, look, come back to College Station, help us recruit on our big recruiting weekend, while that would simultaneously keep him away from LSU. And I think that pitch lasted, again, like I said, 14 hours, 8 of which he was probably asleep. So, by the next day it was back to the normal plan. Okay.
The other one is Tristan Keys, the 5-star number 1 wide receiver in the country, who's committed to LSU. He is not going to take an Alabama visit this weekend, Shea, but I noticed Keys has also been tweeting about, like, maybe Bama told him not to come. What's going on there?
Yeah, well, he's going to do a midweek visit. It was the same with Auburn a week ago when he did a midweek visit and ended up not going. So he had said, hey, look, I think someone had tweeted something about NIL and canceling the visit. And he said, hey, look, Bama's the one who said, hey, don't worry about coming midweek. If, again, his LSU official visit, they usually get in town, late Thursday night, Friday morning, and then you're there for the weekend. So time's kind of running short probably with the schedules and all that to get him to campus. And look, I don't know what Bama's complete outlook on things with Keys is, but all the same, good for LSU because they've, much like Lamar Brown, Tristan has taken a wave of official visits to campuses, really giving his mom the first time to see everything that's out there with him. And obviously the red carpet gets rolled out when you're a 5-star, number 1 wide receiver, and he will in the month this weekend at LSU. So a good time to go into the dead period by getting guys both committed and uncommitted like that on campus.
Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Let's talk about this weekend, Shea, because like you mentioned, it's the last weekend before the dead period. What's going on this weekend on campus?
A lot. Well, you've got Friday Night Lights, which is LSU's final camp day of the year, and that's when recently, in recent years, really, have gone into Tiger Stadium, and a lot of the commits are there. A lot of the uncommitted guys are still after there, so they get to work out with the staff. It's certainly will be their biggest camp date of the summer, recruiting-wise, and camps are kind of different than they used to be because you could never make official visits in the summertime before. Now that's what every prospect does in June ahead of their senior year, but that will be big. And then Saturday is, because of the NCAA recruiting calendar, they used to have one open date at the end of July, and then it goes dead again in August, meaning no campus visits, no face-to-face contact. Well, now it's dead all the way through July, and again is dead in August, as it normally will be. That means that this weekend is the final chance to get guys on campus for what could be 2 full months. And because of that, LSU moved the Bayou Splash, their big recruiting event every summer, from the end of July to the end of June. So pretty much the who's who of kids who are rising juniors, this next wave, in addition to the current commits and top guys, targets on the recruiting trail, will be in on Saturday, that last 3 of the night. So not to date, I guess, we're in June, but I can argue outside of signing day that this is probably the most important recruiting weekend of the year for LSU relative to just so many commits, top targets, and guys for the future being on campus.
Shea, let's talk about a couple of them. You mentioned already Lamar Brown and Tristan Keys. Another receiver, one of the top in the country, is Jace Matthews, who's going to be on campus. Tell us a little bit about him, if you would.
Yeah, he's remained uncommitted coming out of Mississippi, which has a handful of really great receivers. I mean, Tristan Keys is the number 1 ranked receiver in the country. On 3 has Matthews at number 3 in the country. So he's going to come on his visit. He's always had some interest in LSU, but again, everybody in the country that has a chance at him is staying heavily on Jace Matthews. But I'm not going to count LSU out. I've seen him land out-of-state receivers or border state receivers before, and I think right now they're kind of red hot in Mississippi. So the goal, obviously, hold on to Tristan Keys, but in a month where they've hosted a handful of unofficial visitors at receiver, Jace Matthews is the highest ranked one.
The other receiver that's going to be on campus is one we've talked about before. That's Boobie Feaster out of Texas. What's the latest? Catch us up a little bit on Feaster for those who maybe aren't familiar, but maybe catch us up on how that recruitment's going right now.
Yeah, Feaster's the guy. He's coming out of DeSoto, which LSU has recruited and signed players, football players, and more out of DeSoto. It's been good to LSU over the years when trying to recruit the Lone Star State, East Texas. And I think he got his offer in probably like 9th grade when he was camping at LSU. And he's just been around a lot and has always been one of the better players in the state of Texas. And now he's finally about to be a senior. So time flies, and he's gone through his whole process this summer. And I think most people view A&M as the team that probably is in pole position. Now, he's going into this LSU visit. We're still 6 months from signing day. He is a Louisiana native coming out of North Louisiana, but has grown up in Texas and obviously goes to high school there. But I think you look too, Matt, LSU's got Kenny Darby, Jabari Mack, 2 kids out of Louisiana, 4 stars committed. They'll be in town this weekend for visits. They've got Tristan Keys. And we already saw Ja'Kai Anderson, a 4-star out in New Orleans, put this commitment to SMU after being committed to LSU. And kind of the pitch from SMU was, hey, look, it's a 4-man class. You can come be the number 1 guy in this class. And he made that move. I think now you're kind of balancing how do we keep the 3 we have, but also add, if it's a Feaster or try to go after Jace Matthews or Calvin Russell, another top 10 receiver who visited. They've got options. So that'll be one of the more intriguing things to watch play out.
Shea, I got one more for you. I noticed, we talked last week about KJ Edwards, the running back out of Texas who visited LSU. He did commit to Texas A&M. There's not an elite running back in Louisiana for 2026. So where does LSU turn next?
The easiest question that you've asked me so far, I don't know. I have no clue. Because Frank Wilson keeps his cards pretty close to the vest, and look, we saw him only circle one guy in Caden Durham 2 years ago. He ends up signing him out of Texas in Duncanville. And then, like you mentioned, in Louisiana this year, a year ago, they had two of the top 10 running backs in the country with J.Q. Lindsey and Harlem Berry. Berry being number one. He signs them both. And then he'd only gone publicly at least hard the past few months after KJ. And like you said, today he goes to A&M. I'd assume that sticks. So we will see, I guess, who kind of he pivots to next. And as you know, it'll probably be an out-of-state running back.
Shea Dixon on 3, the Bengal Tiger. Giant recruiting weekend with the Bayou Splash and Friday Night Lights ahead this weekend in Baton Rouge. We'll recap all of it next Tuesday. Shea, we appreciate you, man. Thank you as always.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, be well. Make sure you get Shea on Twitter at Shea Dixon. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. One thing I always encourage you to do is go for that consultation. If you're on the fence, you've wondered about LASIK or PRK, and there's so many different options, right? LASIK is what I had 7 years ago. Maybe you had LASIK some time ago, and now different parts of your eye may be aging. PRK could be perfect. Hester had LASIK when he was playing, just recently had PRK with Dr. Blake Williamson. Told you before, there's Evo ICL, which is an alternative to LASIK, a totally reversible procedure where it's an implantable contact lens. It's ICL. There's the custom lens replacement. Jimmy, I've made fun of Jimmy before just because he's old, and shame on me because I'm going to be there. I'm kind of already getting there. But going to dinner with Jimmy Ott, and he's has the glasses on the end of his nose, using the flashlight on his phone to look at the menu. Sound familiar? Some of y'all? Is that really hitting? Well, Jimmy went to Dr. Blake and had the custom lens replacement. Now doesn't need glasses, doesn't need to use the flashlight on his phone to read the menu anymore. He can just see. No matter your age or refractive issue, you want to see 20/20 without contacts or glasses, you can do it. Dr. Blake Williamson can make it happen. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com. All right, quick break. We'll go around the SEC to wrap up hour number 1. Our Tuesday shows are brought to you by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. We'll go around the SEC, and then we will dive back into the College World Series chat. We'll let you hear from Jay Johnson, from Bear Jones, as the Tigers wrap up a 9-5 win over UCLA, firmly in the driver's seat, and they'll take on the winner of UCLA-Arkansas. Tonight's game out at the Chuck, and we are keeping an eye on the radar again, which could cause even more disruptions to the schedule there in Omaha. So don't you move. A lot to do. It's AFR.
AFR.
You are thinking about selling your home. What an amazing time to do it. There's no better person to call than Darren James. We give you Darren's cell. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Right now, just listed by Darren James in Zachary on Greenwell Springs, Port Hudson Road. 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2,500 square feet, $499,900. You can check it out right now at agent225.com. How many realtors do daily ads promoting their listing? Your property. Darren James does. And you know what else? Darren James guarantees he'll sell your home. It's his guaranteed sale program. Agree to a price and a deadline. If Darren doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, he'll have your home bought with cash or he'll sell it for free. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
At Louisville Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Louva, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
You can always text the show, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Patrick said, could Anthony Ianson pitch tomorrow? Yeah, he could. And I could see a scenario where, let's say you start Cowan, Newt, or some combination, use those guys, Maverick, Rizzi, you're piecing it together. And let's say you're leading 7-5, and you've got 4 outs to go. I could see you going to get Anthony Ianson and slamming the door. I mean, Chase Shores in theory would be available as well. Like, had he not, if he does, I mean, he'll obviously he'll have the rest of the day off today. I mean, he just threw 13 pitches today. 11. So he went 10 yesterday, 11, or 10 on Saturday, and then 11 today. So, his pitch count's low. You could absolutely use him, but if you need him to extend, and point is, you get to an end game scenario, you could use Ianson the same that you did in the regional. So we'll see what they elect to do. But yes, absolutely, Ianson could come back, and I think if you have an opportunity to pitch yourselves into the finals, like if you're leading, and you could slam the door on Wednesday night and give yourself Thursday and Friday off, and then throw Evans on Saturday, that gives Ianson 3 days of rest to pitch and kind of extend for you on Sunday. I think that's absolutely a plan and an approach if you need it. All right, it's after further review. We are glad to have you aboard with us here. Our Tuesday shows are powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. You want a Deere, bunkie and below, there's one place you're going, Sunshine, sunnyquip.com, sunnyquip.com. Okay, let's do it to wrap up the hour here. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference.
Texas A&M! A little bit of a bummer for the Tigers here. LSU had running back KJ Edwards out of Carthage, Texas on campus last week, but on Tuesday, the 5'11", 195-pound four-star chose Texas A&M over Texas, LSU, and Alabama. He's ranked the number 3 running back in the country for 2026.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
A legacy and a familiar name is the first commitment for Josh Heupel for 2027. Linebacker J.P. Peace, who is the grandson of Philip Fulmer, has committed to the Vols. 6'3", 215. He's from Knoxville. No surprise there. Not currently ranked by the major scouting services, but again, just finishing up his sophomore year of high school. He's a rising junior, but has offers from Florida State, Kentucky, Maryland, Virginia Tech, Vanderbilt, and others, but he's headed to Tennessee.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Four-star quarterback Jet Tomala has flipped from Iowa State to Alabama. Number 16 quarterback in the country, number 235 overall. He's the number one player in the state of Nebraska. No doubt can't wait to see the Bama bump. Just like a year ago when they got the kid from SMU who flipped and then became a five-star. No doubt the kid that was committed to Iowa State soon will be a five-star and the number one prospect in the country. Can't wait to see that happen.
The Florida Gators.
Florida landed a commitment from 2026 offensive tackle Javari Lucas, 6'5", 305. Picked the Gators over West Virginia, Miami, South Florida, and others. He's the number 97 offensive tackle in the country.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
And four-star Illinois defensive back Messiah Tilson has committed to Kentucky, 6'2", 165. He's the 25th best safety in the country. Canceled an upcoming visit to Kansas. He's headed to Kentucky, where he is their 6th commitment. Okay, there you have it. That is around the SEC. Putting a button here on hour number one, and glad to have you hanging out with us. Remember, if you want all of Hunt Palmer's coverage from the College World Series up in Omaha, you can get it for free always at louisianasports.net. Hunt's got his game story up right now. He's got a column coming up as well about what LSU might do on the mound on Wednesday. When we come back after SportsCenter, do you want to talk a little bit about how we turn the page to Wednesday?
AFR.
I want to take 60 seconds and remind you about First South Farm Credit. Great company. It's been around for more than 100 years, since 1916. And listen, a lot of us, especially when you get into your adult years, have gone through the process with a lender of buying a house. But buying a home and buying land are very different processes. There's different tax structures. There's all different types of regulations and how things are zoned and all different types of stuff. So when it comes to buying land, you want to make sure you're doing business with someone that has only done one thing for more than 100 years: help Louisianians buy land. That's why your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. It's not just Louisiana. You want to buy land in any of the lower 48, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. So log on to firstsouthland.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Louisville Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Louva, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. The Oilers go back to Stuart Skinner in goal for tonight's Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. He was pulled in Game 4 when the Oilers fell behind 3-0 before coming back to win. The Panthers at home tonight and just one win away from back-to-back Cup titles, leading 3-2. Game 6 of the NBA Finals is Thursday night in Indianapolis. The Thunder lead the Pacers 3-2. ESPN's Shams Charania reports Indiana's Tyrese Halliburton will have an MRI on his right calf strain. Here's what Halliburton said about the injury Monday night.
It's not really a thought of mine to not play here. If I can, walk, then I want to play. So they understand that, and is what it is. And, got to be ready to go for Game 6.
Tyrese Halliburton. Asia Wilson will miss her third game in a row for the Las Vegas Aces tonight when they play the Lynx in Minneapolis. Wilson is still in concussion protocol. PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan announces he'll step down at the end of next year. His duties will fall to new Tour CEO Brian Rolap.
Your summer drink is here. Twisted Tea is a smooth, refreshing, hard iced tea with 5% alcohol, making it the perfect drink to take any day this summer to the next level. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's rock! Go!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom, play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We'll chat with John Nabors in 30 minutes from right now. John Nabors does great jobs, covered Arkansas for a lot of years. Significant game tonight, naturally. UCLA, after losing to LSU, has to come back tonight now at 6 o'clock to take on Arkansas in a game there at the Chuck. And it's an elimination game, so someone's heading home after that game tonight. The winner will have to beat LSU twice, presumably on Wednesday and then again Thursday. However, as we look at the forecast in Omaha tonight, it's a mess again this evening. Starting around 9 o'clock, there's the threat of thunderstorms in Omaha. And that threat runs all the way until about 2 a.m. So I'm not a forecaster, meteorologist. You all know that. I don't know. I can look at a radar like all of you have. And we've become accustomed to doing as LSU baseball fans this year quite a bit. This is the year where we live in Louisiana. In the spring and the summer, it rains. It just does. I mean, it's just the weather pattern. It rains a lot here. This feels like the year, though, we've had the most disruptions. Just starting literally with the very beginning of the season, you're playing that Purdue-Fort Wayne series at noon or whatever, 1 o'clock, whenever they started that first game. And the first midweek of the year was the game against Nichols down in Thibodaux that got postponed. And then the very last midweek of the year was a game against Grambling that got canceled. When you think about the games that got delayed and with the late starts and in the Texas A&M game where you ended up playing the doubleheader, the Tennessee and Arkansas games that went to 1:17 a.m. Like, there's just been a lot. All the sunshine delays in the regional round. I mean, it's been a lot this year. But what I will say is the circumstance that unfolded with LSU and UCLA on Monday night, as much as it sucks, that's why Jay Johnson pushes so hard for those sunshine delays. I'm not necessarily advocating for it, but it's more of an explanation as to why they do it. Because the worst thing that happened for LSU with this whole scenario was you started Anthony Ianson, he got 9 outs for you, and then you shut him down. And now it's sort of, and as a result, what happened is at the restart, you threw Kason Evans, and now Kason Evans is not available for you in this game tomorrow. I mean, how different would we feel sitting here today? If that game went as scheduled, Anthony Ianson gets you 7 innings, whatever. You finish it off however you got to finish it off. And now you got Kason Evans queued up to go face the winner of Arkansas UCLA with a chance to punch your ticket at the championship series. How different do you feel now? And instead of talking about Zach Cowan, Jaden Newt, some combo of a bullpen day, what if you had Kason Evans ready to roll? Like, that's what the stop and restart cost you. That's why Jay Johnson pushes so hard not to do that, and why we have subsequently the stupid sunshine delays that everybody hates. But this is why. It's why they do it. And I know I've been asked a good bit on a lot of different platforms why they don't adjust accordingly. And the answer is obvious. It's TV. I mean, the answer yesterday was after Arkansas's Gage Wood threw that no-hitter, and they finished that like right as we were starting the show, I think. It was like right at 3 o'clock when right up at 3, maybe right at 4. No, it'd be 4 if they started at 1. But they started that. They finished that game sometime in the 3 o'clock hour. They finished that game. And they could have had LSU, knowing the weather was coming to Omaha, they could have had LSU and UCLA ready to go at 5, 5:30. They could have moved that game time up. They could have started that game earlier. They didn't have to wait 3 hours from the end of Arkansas of the Arkansas game to the start of the LSU UCLA game. So, but the answer is TV. Why do they do it? Because it's TV. It's TV windows. They were putting that on in prime time. They wanted LSU on in prime time, and you take the good with the bad with those decisions. TV is wonderful. It increases revenue. It's why you're able to build part of why you're able to build great facilities and pay great coaches and to attract the best players and all that stuff. And we get great access to watch all the games for our favorite teams. And it's amazing. Like, TV's wonderful for all those things. But this is where it's a downside, because you genuflect at their altar. You allow television to determine start times. We talk about it every year in football season. I mean, last week we did a full segment here when ESPN announced the kickoff windows for SEC football for this year. And LSU Arkansas is going to be at 11 a.m. That sucks. Nobody wants that. 11 a.m. in Tiger Stadium. That is going to suck royally. Everyone's going to bitch about it. It's awful. And I hate it just like you do. And LSU is going to play Vanderbilt in Nashville at 11 a.m. And that's going to suck hard too. But I also understand you take the good with the bad with TV. It's why we get every game on TV. You want to go back to the days where we have Tiger Vision? I don't. I like seeing every game on TV all the time. So that's why. It's a television decision. And I wish it weren't that way. I wish we could have our cake and eat it too. It's just not how it goes. So in any event, that's why it transpired the way it did. Now, I don't know what they'll do here tonight, but if Arkansas and UCLA start and can't finish, you effectively have a major advantage that turns to LSU, because what's happened so far right now, I would argue, is a disadvantage for LSU where you need to make lemonade out of lemons. I mean, you had a great situation starting 2-0 where you were supposed to have the day off today, and Arkansas, UCLA were supposed to play, And instead, what's happened is you had to burn Case and Evans. You had to play today. You don't get your full day off. And so we'll see. But if tonight's game with Arkansas and UCLA gets delayed, which I am very much pulling for, I want Arkansas to start to start Zach Root tonight, which they've announced they're going to do. I want them to start Zach Root. I want them to play five innings, 4, whatever, and shut that thing down and restart it tomorrow. And then whoever wins that game on the restart on Wednesday has to come back Wednesday night and beat LSU, because then the advantage flips back to your favor. Because the unfortunate thing for UCLA tonight is they had to use 8 pitchers, 6 of them today, in the game against LSU. And I don't know how many of those guys they'd be willing to bring back tonight. I mean, it's a win or your season is over, so you're going to take certain liberties, but it's an uncomfortable situation for John Savage. That same misfortune would flip on Arkansas tomorrow, provided Arkansas win, or whoever, if they had to play tomorrow morning, and then whoever won that game had to play LSU tomorrow night, which is really what I'm cheering for, to regain that advantage. Because the disadvantage for LSU now is you burn Case and Evans, where had Einstein be able to give you what we thought he was going to be able to give you, you would have today off and Evans queued up for Wednesday. Instead, you had to burn Evans today, and now you probably have a bullpen day tomorrow, regardless of who your opponent is. So we are going to keep an eye on the skies there in Omaha tonight, because it looks like, I mean, just look at the forecast from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. that you could have some disruption in that game. Now, 9 p.m. is far later than 7:30, or shortly after 7, when LSU and UCLA got disrupted yesterday. But that's something to keep an eye on tonight when those two teams play up at Omaha at the Charles Schwab Field. With the loser going home, the winner advancing to play LSU on Wednesday, needing to win 2 games to advance to the championship series. All right, it's after further review. We are brought to you by Parish Restoration. You can always go to parishrestoration.com. Speaking of rain, my God, like I was in Boston and Bar Harbor, Maine this past weekend, and every time I called home to Erica to check in, she's like, "Man, it's raining again." Just stormed all weekend here. Rained again today. If you've had water intrusion, chances are you have mold. That's why we're the mold capital of the world. It's wet and it's humid. So if you have mold or think you might, that's hazardous, let Parish Restoration help. It's cost-effective. It's efficient. It doesn't matter if it's your home, office building, church, school, a medical facility. They can dry fog your home, your vehicle, largest commercial building in the state. Doesn't matter, size or scale. You want to kill mold, remove odor, get rid of odor like odor from smoke, be it a smoker or smoke from a fire, odor from sweat or pet odor. Have those issues? Parish Restoration can help. ParishRestoration.com. ParishRestoration.com. All right, John Nabors will be with us in 18 minutes from right now, covers Arkansas. And I want to ask John about the decision that Dave Van Horn has made. If you haven't heard, Zach Root is going to start tonight. It's official. Arkansas has made that official. Zach Root is going to start against UCLA tonight. So Root, who's Arkansas's ace this year, and threw just 38 pitches against LSU before being pulled on Saturday after having a day off Sunday, a day off Monday. Root is coming back tonight now to start this elimination game against UCLA. So there it is. Forgive me, I was looking for the tweet, the official tweet from Arkansas's baseball account. It's official that Zach Root is going to start this ball game tonight against UCLA. So they'll go back to Root after he threw 38 pitches against LSU on Saturday, and with this decision, they would burn Zach Root until presumably or potentially the championship series, meaning if Arkansas does beat UCLA, they would have to beat LSU twice without having Zach Root. And I can't imagine they would bring Gabe Gackle back on Wednesday. Like maybe a scenario, he threw 90 pitches on Saturday against LSU. On 3 days rest, maybe it's a scenario where you're facing elimination. If you needed him on Wednesday, maybe he gives you something out of the bullpen. Maybe he's an opener that gives you what he can give you. But more likely what you would see is if it got to Thursday, you'd see Cade Anderson against Gackle. So we'll see how it all plays out. So many moving parts, but two of the best in the business, and Jay Johnson and Dave Van Horn, going to try to navigate that. Of course, John Savage as well. I don't want to be completely dismissive of UCLA as that team is still in the field. It's really hard to imagine UCLA losing this game this morning, burning up 6 pitchers in that game, now having to come back tonight and face an Arkansas team that has an entire rested bullpen because of the job that Gage Wood did a day ago, no-hitting Murray State. So College World Series plays on. Right now, Oregon State and Louisville are playing in what was supposed to be the first game of the day. It turns out being the second game of the day because of the LSU-UCLA restart. But Louisville has a 5-3 lead right now in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Cards have runners at the corners with 1 out, and they're wearing hideous all-black uniforms. The baseball gods should not allow them to advance in any way because of these awful uniforms. Same as UCLA today. It is offensive to the baseball god senses. But despite their transgressions, Louisville is winning 5-3 right now. Actually, they just ran themselves out of the inning. So, they got to run home. Okay, on the sac fly. So 6-3 Louisville over Oregon State as they head to the 8th. All right, it's after further review. Stick around.
AFR.
The Tigers are in Omaha pursuing championship number 8, and all season long, Action Industries has been walking hand in hand, arm in arm with the LSU Baseball Tigers. Action Industries, a proud partner of LSU Athletics. They've sponsored the mound visits all season long. So if you've been at the box or listening on the LSU Sports Radio Network, you've heard mention of the mound visits presented by Action Industries. Action, a proud partner of LSU Athletics. They love to support the home team. They're born and bred and raised and grown right here in South Louisiana. Action Industries Incorporated. Action, INDINC.com. They're an industrial contractor. So if you need work done inside the fence, 2 things are true. You don't get hired if you don't have exemplary safety record, and you don't keep getting rehired if you don't do great work. Well, Action Industries beats the industry standard when it comes to safety, and they've been hired for 43 years. They're the best. Give them a shout. Action Industries. Action Industries, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, Ice Cubes.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
And a big cold jug of sweet tea.
Tigers win 9-5. They advance at the College World Series. Just a gigantic day for LSU. You wanted to come out hot after the restart. So interesting to see. I know it's not what in any way, but if you remember back to that Northwestern State game where LSU went into the rain delay, they came out of the rain delay and just were totally flat as a pancake and ended up getting ruled by Northwestern State. I get it. It's a different day, but still, I mean, Jay Johnson said it immediately when the team went into, I think Chris Budden on ESPN, when she on the broadcast, made mention that when they had the team huddle during the delay, Jay was like, don't expend any energy, go rest, because I want you to come out with the same energy that you were playing with early. Getting that energy level back up is so significant. But LSU with a 5-3 lead, how would they come out? Well, Kason Evans was awesome. Just allowing the two-out single in the top of the fourth. The Tigers would have a couple of base knocks. Milam with an RBI single, and Jake Brown had his RBI single in the fourth inning as well that pushed LSU's lead to 7-3. Here's how it sounded.
The 0-1, Brown rips into this one, a line drive, going to take a bounce in front of Salgado and right. Then Karam's off his body, that will easily score. Ethan Fry, Jake Brown follows suit with an RBI single, and it's now 7-3.
A great offensive game for LSU, and it's been a really solid offensive performance in Omaha so far. And, man, what a bounce back for Jared Jones, who, after going 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts against Arkansas, was so impressive in this game. I know he had the home run. He walked, which, by the way, I went back and looked it up when he walked. When Jared Jones walked to lead off the 7th, Jared Jones walked to lead off the 7th. That was just his third walk in his last 48 at-bats. That goes back to the South Carolina series. And that's just really indicative of what's changed for Jared Jones when he went through his slump. It's pitch selection. Early in the season, it was so impressive because he was taking his walks. And sometimes when you're fighting it, it's very natural to think you'll just maybe fall into some bad habits, chase pitches that are out of the zone, increases your swing and miss, and that's why the walks have been down, the strikeouts have been up. But, not only did he walk there at the top of the 7th, but he was also the last out of the restart in the 4th inning, and he had a 3-0 pitch. And he probably swung at ball 4 right there, but they green-lighted him 3-0. I don't love – I get it. I don't want to say I don't love it. You had him on the ropes. You had runners on base. Jones in a 3-0 count. Like, if they were going to feed him one and he could crush it, I get it. Let him swing away. But point being, the big difference for Jared Jones in this game against UCLA as opposed to what we saw against Arkansas on Saturday when he was 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts was just pitch selection. And you get ahead in the count, you're going to have better pitches to hit. Jared Jones did, and that was great to see. By the way, this was Jared Jones during the postgame on that 4-run first inning, which included his 3-run homer.
I think Anthony does a better job as the game goes along, so I knew that he was going to settle in and do his deal. And offensively, we just wanted to start the game on the right note. We talk about winning every inning. Obviously, they put up a 3 spot in the top half, so to win the inning, we got to put up at least 4. And it just so happened, and that's kind of how the game works sometimes. And, we just kind of stuck with it, got off to a good start, took quality at-bats all game long, and led to a lot of success and a lot of runs on the board.
Jared Jones, again, on a really nice offensive day for him personally and for LSU with incredibly. 9 runs, 12 hits. They left 10 on base. A really, really nice offensive day for LSU. Would love to see carry forward tomorrow against the winner of Arkansas, UCLA. Jay Johnson, speaking of which, also talked about where the pitching stands. We'll get to that here in just a second. We are brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. They're just the best. If you're in the market for a new vehicle or you're buying a used vehicle, I always encourage you, you can shop the certified pre-owned lots, but make sure that you've got South Point Volkswagen on the list as well. because when you sell more new Volkswagens than anybody else, your inventory of pre-owned vehicles is higher. And they get quality trade-ins as well at South Point Volkswagen. But if you're shopping V-dubs, remember, great German engineering without the cost, great performance, the 9 different IIHS top safety picks, and also manufactured right here in the US of A at their Chattanooga, Tennessee plant. It's South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Jay Johnson was asked after the game against UCLA where the pitching stands now going into Wednesday.
Never to look too far down the road in this tournament. I think you can get yourself in trouble with that. I think if you win the first 2 with only maybe 3 guys unavailable for the next game, you've probably done a pretty good job, and that's probably where we're at. I need to look at it a little closer. Don't have a pitching plan yet for tomorrow because we don't know who we're playing yet via Arkansas or UCLA. Both are capable of winning that ball game tonight. So we'll stay in tune with that and then adjust, and that's what this tournament is at times, you know.
It's so true. It sounds cliched in coach speak, but it is true. As much as we sit here and try to talk through and map out what LSU may do on the mound, it is impossible to know without knowing, number one, who you're playing, and number 2, who you have available. So, like, I can tell you what I think they're going to do on Wednesday and what I think they're going to do on Thursday, but so much of that depends on what happens on Wednesday. And if you get to Thursday, I can tell you there's just one certainty. There's one certainty, is that if LSU plays on Thursday, meaning they lose Wednesday and play on Thursday, there's one certainty. That is Cade Anderson is getting the ball. Like, that's, map out anything heretofore, the remainder of the tournament. Whatever happens Wednesday, Thursday, they get to Saturday, they win it in 2, lose it in 2, get to a third game. Whatever. There's one thing that's certain. That's if they play Thursday, Cade Anderson's getting the baseball. That's it. Like, that's the only absolute certainty for the remainder of it. I think they will look at what happens in the game with Arkansas and UCLA and make a decision about what to do on Wednesday. Still think it's either going to be Newt or Cowan. I don't think I'm going out on a limb there. I think Ianson would be available to give you something, but it wouldn't be a situation where you burn him just because. I think it would be an end game scenario where you'd use him to try to punch your ticket to the championship series and then giving yourself both Thursday and Friday off to reset. And that would give Ianson 3 days because he'd pitch on Sunday. So he'd be off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, come back and pitch on Sunday. So, I mean, I could see it playing out that way. But, again, the only certainty at this point is if you play Thursday, Cade Anderson's getting the baseball the same way that we saw with Skeens and Louder back in 2023. And one more from Jay, where, again, this was after LSU beat UCLA. This was in the postgame. He was asked about, avoiding the Thursday game, like the importance or how you go about preparing to avoid that Thursday winner-take-all game, which they, of course, they had to play in 2023.
One thing I always tell the players is everything is training for something. And, we are in a similar situation in the regional, and a team played very good, and whoever we're playing next is fighting for their season. And so you have to bring the same type of intensity, to counterbalance, that focus and that motivation of that team. And I thought we did an excellent job of that in the super regional last week. And I think we've done an excellent job of it here. I think it's not just winning to us, it's how we win and how we get better at this craft of trying to be one of the elite college baseball teams in the country. And my message to them will just be to use their experience well.
Something LSU has been through. But boy, you would just love to avoid having to play on Thursday. And here's hoping that watching this play out tonight, however it might, puts either Arkansas or UCLA at just a significant and massive disadvantage. We'll see. All right, it's after further review. Let's do this. We'll knock out a break. When we come back, we'll chat with our buddy John Nabors. Does great jobs, covered Arkansas for a lot of years. We know that Zach Root's going to get the ball tonight. So what are the Hogs looking like after Gage Wood's performance yesterday? What's going on with the Arkansas offense? What will it look like if LSU and Arkansas meet up on Wednesday, potentially Thursday? We'll dive into that with our buddy John Nabors as we continue here on AFR.
AFR.
Man, I got to share the great news with you yesterday and happy to continue shouting it from the mountaintops, or at least into this microphone. Big shout out to Duplessis Builders. Our friends over at Duplessis Builders have been named one of the top 50 pool companies in America. Congratulations to Derek Duplessis and our friends over at Duplessis Builders. Just an amazing honor and a testament to the work that they do. One of the top 50 pool builders in America, and not just one of the top 50. They ranked number 26 on this list from Pool and Spa, from Pool and Spa News. So number 26 in the country. Whenever you call Duplessis Builders, whether it's to build your pool, to renovate your existing pool, to build that spa, putting green, your outdoor kitchen, you're hiring a great company that's committed to our community and doing amazing work. DuplessisBuilders.net.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe. You gotta believe. My whole team on wild.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Louisville Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Louva, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She ain't a fooling me. She thinks my tractor's sexy.
All right, they're bottom 8 in Omaha. Louisville leading Oregon State 6-3 right now. This is an elimination game, so Louisville on the verge of sending the Beavs back to Corvallis. Following this game will be an elimination game between the Razorbacks and the Bruins. Arkansas, UCLA. John Nabors, our buddy, covered Arkansas for a long time. Good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Talk about what we can expect. Hey, John, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm trying to avoid the stupid tiger you guys got driving around. I'm sick of seeing it every place I go. But,
hey, don't
yeah, no, you're going good.
Don't say you guys. I don't know where the Tiger came from. The Mardi Gras Mike thing. I think that's really aggressive. I guess it's kind of cool. Like if it was a giant pig, you'd probably love it. But I think I'd probably just rather keep winning the Jello shot thing if I had my druthers.
Trust me, I don't think that's even any competition. I think you guys got it done.
Yeah, the LSU could be done for the tournament today, and it would still be over. Okay, let's talk about where Arkansas is right now. So Gage Wood was awesome yesterday. Throwing the no-hitter, as cool as that was of a moment at the College World Series, what did that mean? Like, what arms were they able to preserve by not having to use them in any capacity yesterday?
I mean, pretty much everybody. I know that, as you know, Arkansas and LSU in that game won. Zach Root, normally their ace, they pulled him pretty early, and he only threw 38 pitches. And so you felt like he was going to get another chance at some point, which apparently is tonight against UCLA, as we found out. But, you had Gabe Gackle, who did a really good job, and then you had the Gibbler kid, who's a true freshman, come in, and that's it. So, I mean, they literally have everybody. They have Landon Vitalsheet. They have Ben Bybee. They have Dylan Fouch. They have Aiden Jimenez. They have Will McIntyre. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So, I mean, obviously throwing a no-hitter is awesome, but considering Arkansas is going to have to win 4 games in 4 days and pitching is everything, last time I checked, if you only use one pitcher and you win the game, that's usually a good thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they did a great job of obviously letting them go. They understood what the circumstances were, but as far as who they got going and who they can bring back, pretty much everybody except for Wood and Gackle, which, as I texted you before, I was like, with Wood, the way he was pitching yesterday, maybe he could go again. But they pretty much got everybody, which is big time.
John, what do you think is realistic for Zach Root tonight?
Honestly, if you can get 4 innings out of him, I mean, that's kind of my expectation. I know that UCLA, of course, having to play like a half game in different days, and they're facing elimination. You're kind of hoping that maybe that gives you a little bit of an advantage. But with Root, I mean, he's a guy that, did not do overly well against LSU. He's looking for redemption, and he's a guy that's done really good in a lot of different games this year. So I think that if you can just get a nice start for him, get that 4 innings, maybe even 5, depending on how he's going, and if he's shoving and he's doing a great job, keep rolling with him. But I think that it's going to be by committee a lot after that point in time. But none of it's going to matter if you don't score. That's been Arkansas's problem right now. It's just not getting guys in when they have the bases, whether it's loaded or having guys in running and scoring position, doesn't matter. But they got to get some runs. But for me, it's, hey, see what he's got and pull him early, give him a short leash. But if you can get 4 innings, I think it's a huge win.
Hey, John, what is going on with the offense so far in Omaha?
It's the weirdest thing, man. It's so strange where Arkansas the past 2 seasons, they struggled with the offense. And this year, Dave Van Horn talks about doing a lot of different things, and all year long, it's been really great. I think back to last season in the lineup, if you looked at it at the end of the year, you had 1 or 2 guys hitting over 300. This year, you have 2 guys not hitting over 300. I mean, it's been incredible to see the changes that they've had. I mean, Lahiba Loy, the Gold Spike finalist, has been phenomenal. Charles Davalon, their leadoff hitter, might be one of the best hitters Arkansas's had in a very long time. I mean, all-American type stuff. Guys that are not just hitting home runs, but getting on base, being patient, being able to drive guys home. And it just, since the World Series has started, it's all gone by the wayside. They're popping up way too often. Sometimes I feel like they're getting a little too tight and trying to hit it out of the ballpark, but in the moment get to them. And in a lot of cases, like it was even yesterday, as great as Gage Wood was, there were 2 different instances where Arkansas had runners at second and third with no outs and didn't get any runs. That's just unacceptable. So I think that they're just forcing it a little bit. I think that they've become a little bit impatient. I think that game against LSU, it really messed with them a little bit. But what I think Razorback fans are hoping for is that they are able to ride a little bit of that motivation and that inspiration from Gage Wood's performance and say, hey, let's settle in. We got this. We got pitching. Let's go after it. But they just seem like they've reverted back to the early season hogs instead of being the ones that we saw in the regionals as well as the super regionals.
John Nabors is with us from inside Arkansas and host of Locked on Razorbacks. John, I can understand the LSU game because you got Cade Anderson. I mean, a lot of people are going to struggle against a dominant lefty who might be the first pick in the draft. Was there anything in particular, though, against Murray State that you saw that led? I mean, is it the ballpark, John? Is it approach? What do you see that's been out of character?
Well, I think it was strange because it's as weird as it is. Arkansas this season hits against lefties far and away better than righties. I wish I could explain it. This year against lefties, they're hitting about 347, and against righties, they're hitting about 300. Don't know why, but that's the case. So that's where I think with the Anderson deal was not to say that Arkansas was just expecting them to just tee off on them, but to struggle as much as they did may have been a little bit of a surprise. But against Murray State, to me, again, it goes back to just forcing it too much. I mean, the best hitters that came through yesterday and really in the College World Series were your 8-9 hole guys with Reese Robinette and Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas went 4 for 4 yesterday in that 9-hole spot, and he's shown some signs of greatness, but that just can't happen, especially when he's getting on base and then you get to the top of the lineup and you can't get him home. Like, that just cannot happen. So I think they're forcing it. I think that pressure, because they know that they were the favorites going in, they know that they had a lot of people that were expecting them to be the team, and being against LSU and knowing that LSU won that series the first time that they faced, I just think the pressure and the all eyes on them and being a huge crowd and everything was just all right there for them, and they fell short. And so it's a mental thing. It's all I can really approach it as, just a complete total mental thing, because yesterday, too, Murray State's guys, especially the guy they brought in late, he was throwing 70-mile-an-hour pitches. It wasn't like he's throwing anything that was just like, oh, absolute gas, watch out. I mean, they just seem to be in their own head right now, and I think that Dave Van Horn, as well as Nate Thompson, they have to work it out for them to try to get their mentality back. But to me, that's the only thing you can make sense is just get out of your own head.
John, I don't want to turn you into a meteorologist, but like we're several hundred miles away. You're in Omaha. I can look at a radar and see that it looks like there's rain in the forecast tonight. What do the skies look like, and what's the forecast there that people are talking about for tonight?
Well, I'm sitting outside right now, and it's actually perfect weather, but it's definitely windy. You can feel the cloud cover coming in. It looks like they're expecting storms, to be honest, and probably could be even worse than what it was last night. It snuck up on a lot of people right around 6:30, 7 o'clock is when it's going to start moving in. So it's going to be fascinating to see this. Because I'm sure LSU fans they thought that the NCAA handled it perfectly last night. I'm sure they all felt that way. But tonight, I'm wondering what's going to happen. It's either going to be one of two things. Either they're going to wait until the last minute and then call the game until tomorrow. But I'm thinking, I could be wrong, but I'm thinking that maybe they learned their lesson from last night, and instead of starting a game when they know inclement weather's coming in, to just wait until tomorrow morning or whenever. But I'm just telling you, from the radar, from what we've been looking at and talking to people, it doesn't look good, but it doesn't look like it's going to be moving in until about 7 o'clock this evening.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be fascinating to see what they elect to do. Do you get it started? But that obviously changes pitching plans. But I mean, John, the other part of it is, too, if you have to play tomorrow, that's 3 games in a day, which with these TV windows makes it difficult. So who knows what they're going to elect to do. It feels like there's a better way, but it's what it is. If there is a delay, how do you think that affects Arkansas for tomorrow?
I mean, I think it's nothing but a negative impact. I know that people try to play these mind games of like, oh, well, what if they do this at this time? How's it going to impact this pitcher or whatever? I just have a hard time believing that UCLA, considering they had to start a game last night, play a game this morning, lose that game, leave the dugout in the stadium for a couple of hours, and then come back is not an advantage for Arkansas, who played a game early yesterday afternoon, won it, and have had over a full 24 hours to rest up and get locked in. I just feel like tonight is going to give the Arkansas the Razorbacks the best advantage, but it doesn't matter. Hey, it's nothing out of your power.
Yeah.
It happens tomorrow. You may I still feel good that Arkansas can win the game and will win the game, but you certainly, if you're a Razorback fan, you're hoping this game gets in tonight because you want to strike when the iron's hot. You want to try to ride that wave a little bit and take every advantage you can. So it may be impactful, but either way, Arkansas's got to score runs because, again, it doesn't matter what time the game's at. Can't win if you can't score, so you got to find a way to do it.
He's on Twitter at John Nabors Show. If you want to give him a follow, you could do it there. The Hogs are minus 395 on the money line tonight. So a massive favorite with Zach Root on the bump here to advance. We'll see if they can get it in. Inside Arkansas and the Locked on Razorbacks podcast. Check him out. It's John Nabors. We appreciate you as always, man. Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate you guys, and really hope I get to see you guys 2 more times up here in Omaha. It'd be great.
I hope you're heading home tomorrow, early tomorrow, and I don't see you again until July in Atlanta.
I feel like one of us is going to be right, Matt. One of us is going to be
That's
right.
That's a fact. One of us will be right. That is a fact. All right, John. Thanks, man. We'll see you.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, we'll see you. That's John Nabors. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouses.com. Rouses.com. always encourage you when you get by Rouse's, check out the weekly ad that's on the website. It's on the app, on social media. They do a great job making deals to save you when you're out doing your grocery shopping over at Rouse's. Make sure you follow them on Facebook and all the social media platforms as well. They do a great job when they got their hot bar menu, which is updated with daily hot bar items for lunch or for dinner for the whole family. And, of course, if you want some beverages, adult beverages or anything for the kiddos, they got a great selection of, everything over at Rouse's. And they love to source locally when they can. They've been local for 100 years. It's Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Thrilled to be partnered with Rouse's. I'll be out there for the Rouse's remote on Friday from 11 to 1. Hopefully counting you down to Championship Saturday for LSU as they head into the championship series. Hopefully that's what we're celebrating on Friday out at Rouse's. Anyway, we'll be Rouse's on Burbank and Lee Friday from 11 to 1. Hope to see you there. Rouse's, this feels like home. All right, thanks to John Nabors for jumping aboard with us there. We did have Shea Dixon talk a little recruiting last hour. I know we're effectively a de facto postgame show today with LSU and beating UCLA 9-5. And we're counting you down to the game, which is set to start here in an hour and 15 minutes between Arkansas and UCLA. Oregon State homered, so top 9. It's 6-4 UCLA with a runner on second and nobody out. So the tying run is at the plate for the Beavs, the number 8 national seed, who is trying to stave off elimination here. Again, runner at second, nobody out, 6-4 ball game. Louisville 3 outs away from finishing this, but things getting tight up there at the Chuck. We'll keep you posted when that one goes final. Quick break. Musadoo Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2 next.
After further review.
Interesting. Had on our LouisianaSports.net group text, our buddy Ross Jackson, who's our Saints beat writer, lives in New Orleans, and unfortunately has had major AC issues at his home for several weeks. That is a dreadful thing to have happen for any amount of time whatsoever, but especially in June when heat indexes are hitting triple digits. Telling you, if you're running into trouble with your AC and you need it fixed now, call River City's 1 Hour Air. Nights, holidays, weekends, doesn't matter. I love when I get texts or DMs or emails from you all that say, Scone, River City's 1 Hour Air just left my house. Sunday at 5 o'clock, called them, they were here within an hour. I love telling you, I love when I hear those testimonials because it's real and it happens all the time. If you have issues with your AC, call the best. Call River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, They've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Louisville Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At LUVA, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Always a big shout out to our friends at Sunshine. Of course, you need that tractor, combine, zero-turn mower, gator. You know where you're going. Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Sunnyquip.com, sunnyquip.com. All right, put a button here on hour number 2. Muso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
We lead with one of the best injury updates in Tigers in the Pros this season.
Here we go.
And it's one that's been a long time coming. Alex Lang is scheduled to begin a rehab assignment tonight in high A ball with West Michigan. And
Go Langer!
It's been a long road back. Not all the way there, but you'll remember he injured his right lat a season ago, I believe in May or June. It required surgery. He missed the whole season, missed all of spring training. They had targeted the end of May for the return. Took a little longer, but Lang, rehab assignment, gets underway tonight for the high A West Michigan Whitecaps.
Let's go, Langer.
Hopefully he gets out in the ball game, and we'll get you an update on that on tomorrow's edition of Tigers in the Pros. Another injury update. This one not as positive. This one dealing with Dylan Cruz. So Cruz strains his left oblique near the end of May. He goes on the 10-day IL. It has obviously been well over 10 days. He has still yet to resume swinging a bat, but is currently working on building up strength now on his left side. You want to get him back this year because he still can pace for 20-20, which is where he was prior to that injury. Angel Reese coming off of a triple-double, the first of her career. She'll be back in action tonight as the Sky take on the Mystics in a women's basketball game up there in Chi-Town. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Supper Club. They're back open tonight, y'all. Supper Club is closed Monday, Tuesday. Excuse me. They're closed Sunday, Monday. They reopen on Tuesday. So they're open right now. And I shared this with you yesterday in case you missed it. Chef Leighton Carbo, he FaceTimed me on Thursday before I was flying out to Boston. And I'm like, I don't know. Do you FaceTime anybody ever? You ever FaceTime?
Girlfriend. My girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean like friends, coworkers, no. I think Cobble's the only person that ever FaceTimes. Cobble FaceTimes me all the time. Paula, you FaceTime ever?
No, not really.
Yeah, not really. So Chef he's FaceTiming me. And I'm thinking, oh, this is butt dial, right? He's not doing this on purpose. And he texts me, he's like, hey, I want to show you something. Hit me back. I'm like, oh, he was FaceTiming me. So I pick up. He's at the bar at Supper Club, and he shows me a bottle of E.H. Taylor Single Barrel. And I'm like, oh, man, it's amazing. It's a great bottle, by the way. If you're a whiskey person, you know. And he starts to just pan down the bar. And he's got E.H. Taylor Small Batch and E.H. Taylor the Straight Rye. And then he's got all the Wellers. The Weller CYPB, the Weller Single Barrel, the Weller 12, all down the Wellers. He's got Blanton's gold. He's got all these unicorn bottles, so they just got a massive whiskey dump over at Supper Club. I already tell you, they got the best wine library in town. All the favorites that you love, and unicorn bottles you can't find anywhere else. They got a great whiskey selection, as I just described, and you will have the best meal you've ever eaten in your life. You want to get the Omi beef, like I tell you about? Yeah, Omi beef, which is available at 8 restaurants in the United States. That's the steak that Brandon had to join a Japanese beef cooperative just to have the opportunity to buy that. It's incredible. You want to try it? They got it at Supper Club. And Chef is also starting to get more things on the menu. So if you've been to Supper Club and you feel like you've tried everything, you want something different, he's getting bison in now on Tuesdays and Fridays. And this isn't like bison, like ground meat. This is ribeyes and fillets. It is some of the best meat you have ever eaten in your life. It's at one place. It's at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, we got real drama. It's a tie ball game in Omaha. Louisville was leading 6-3, 3 outs away from advancing. Oregon State has tied it. They've got the bases loaded with nobody out. Drama. We'll keep you posted. Hour 3 is coming up next here on AFR. Whew, don't you move.
After further review.
Our Lady of the Lake Championship Health partner of LSU Athletics and a great partner of ours here on AFR. Of course, Our Lady of the Lake also our title sponsor of our coverage from Omaha all this week with Hunt Palmer and LouisianaSports.net. One thing that's undeniable is when you are a fan of LSU Athletics, you see Our Lady of the Lake present and partnered with everything LSU does, whether you're in the stadiums, whether you're listening or watching the games, whether you're watching us, reading LouisianaSports.net. Our Lady of the Lake takes such great pride being the championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Not only do they offer exceptional care for the student athletes, but LSU students and our community. Part of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, a multi-state health system with more than 80,000 employees. Our Lady of the Lake is committed to their mission and thrilled to be able to offer exceptional medical care.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. With a win tonight in Game 6, the Florida Panthers would lift the Stanley Cup on home ice for the second year in a row. Stuart Skinner in goal for the Oilers. If they win tonight, Game 7 would be in Edmonton Friday night. The Thunder are also one win away from a title, leading the NBA Finals 3-2 over the Pacers. OKC coach Mark Daignault on Jalen Williams in Game 5.
That was an unbelievable performance by him just throughout the whole game. I mean, he really was on the gas the entire night, applied a ton of pressure, thought he made a lot of the right plays, and we're going to need a similar type of approach in Game 6 from him.
Mark Daignault. Game 6 is Thursday night on ESPN Radio and ABC. ESPN's Shams Charania reports Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton will have an MRI on his right calf strain. The Pacers today trade their first-round pick in next week's draft, the 23rd overall, to the Pelicans. In return, Indiana reacquires their own first-round pick for next year. New Orleans now has 2 first-round picks next week.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. And now a no-frills ad brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Here it is. You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's it. See? Just a good old-fashioned, straightforward ad. See if you could save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. LSU beats UCLA 9-5. Tigers, for the first time since 2009, advanced to the winner's bracket after winning their first 2 games. They did it with a very lengthy delay that started on Monday. The game resumed Tuesday. Jay Johnson was asked after the game about this very long delay, things that he works very hard when the games are in Baton Rouge to avoid.
As you get older in coaching, something I try to get better at is not worry about things that I cannot control, whether it's NCAA rules or the weather. If I could have the power to push back lightning and rainstorm, I probably wouldn't be a college baseball coach. But, I want to set a good example for the team. You know what I mean? Like if I'm frustrated and making it a thing, then they're going to make it a thing. And it's my job to lead and not make it a thing. And so that's what I chose to do. And you got some of the smartest people in the NCAA running this deal, and they thought we had a window now, and, hopefully the sun's out, hopefully it stays out, and we can get the tournament, back on track. But I told the players, we literally finished the game like 13 hours later than we would have. So it's only a big deal if we make it a big deal.
Mission accomplished for Jay Johnson. Didn't want to make it a big deal. Wanted to play well. His team did. Hunt Palmer's there, anchoring our coverage from Omaha for LouisianaSports.net. And, of course, his show, The Hunt Palmer Show, on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Hunt, how big of a deal was it for, we know the result now, but for LSU to stop and restart?
It's a big deal because you can't throw Case and Evans tomorrow, and I think they probably would have. There's no guarantee that this game would not have been close with Anthony Ianson exiting in the 6th or 7th inning, and then Case and Evans may have come in at that point and closed it out. And if that would have been the case, well, then you're right back where you would have been. But I think that if you had it in a perfect world, you'd like to have had Case and Evans to start a game to send you to the championship series, and that isn't going to be able to happen tomorrow. So that's a big deal, but you're in the driver's seat. Somebody's got to come beat you twice after playing an extra game. So it's not really worth complaining about. But in the sense that you asked the question, that's significant.
Just quick, do you assume Arkansas beats UCLA? They're a massive favorite. Or we're in the same lockstep there?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you have seen Arkansas a bunch, not only this year, but every year. You know them well, as do I. If you turn the page to Wednesday and it is Arkansas, let's assume they get the game in tonight. Zach Rude pitches well. Arkansas advances. What are you anticipating seeing from both teams tomorrow as far as how they approach the game with their pitching?
It's just a lot of bullpen arms. Arkansas certainly won't be able to use Zach Root tomorrow or in the next game on a Thursday if you got there. And I don't think Gabe Gackle is ready to go tomorrow, and you certainly won't see Gage Wood. So that's kind of the best stuff Arkansas has to offer tomorrow. You're not going to see Cade Anderson, Anthony Ianson, or Case and Evans tomorrow, I don't think. So that's the best stuff on the LSU staff. So it's a game where you got Landon Shees from Arkansas, who's kind of a pitchability lefty that LSU saw on Mother's Day. And then you've got some of the big guns in that bullpen, Jimenez, Fouch, and that crew, Gibble, depending on who pitches tonight. And that's really the biggest deal. For LSU, it's Newt, it's Rizzi, it's Primo, it's Ware, it's Cowan, it's that group. So you're going to see, two really good lineups and two deep pitching staffs, but you're not going to see the premium stuff that you see at the top end of these rotations.
What about Shores?
Interesting. Certainly I wouldn't rule out 12 pitches, 15 pitches, 18 pitches, but that's one of those deals where they have technology and they have testing they can do with recovery. They know how guys' arms respond after 24 hours, after 48 hours, after 72 hours, based on this amount of pitches, this amount of pitches, this amount of pitches. And they'll do testing. And if Chase Shore says he feels good and the numbers that they see are good, then he's available. If he doesn't feel great or the numbers aren't very good, they'll avoid it. That's the beauty of being in the driver's seat. You're not pushed to try to get something that probably isn't there. And so they'll determine that tomorrow before the game, and they'll act accordingly.
Anthony Ianson would certainly feel like, I agree with you, by the way, Newt Cowan probably at the front, but possibility that we see Ianson in there to close it out?
I would call that possibility. I like to evaluate the things that Jay Johnson says as I stand here close to the airport and the airplane flies above my head.
Didn't even hear it. You're good.
And he talked in the regional when they were in the driver's seat and they lost that Sunday game to Little Rock. He just said, he basically, and I'm paraphrasing, was like, we didn't have to push it, and we knew that we could have an advantage in the next game if we didn't push it, and that's why they saved Evans. And in this case, you do have to consider the rest of the College World Series in Wednesday's game. So if you feel like you want to step on the accelerator and go get Ianson for the last 5 outs of the game, that's not the worst thing in the world. And then you'll have Thursday and Friday off, and he's probably ready to go at some point over the weekend. If you feel like, hey, I'd really like to have Ianson on Saturday in the championship series, I think there's a way we can maneuver today and not get to that. It just depends on how the game flow is going and who is coming up in said lineup. So I think that tonight's game is important based on who Arkansas or UCLA uses. But it's just there's not a black and white book for how you manage the pitching. There's some feel, there's some numbers, and then there is an element that LSU gets to use in Wednesday's game of we don't have to win today, where the team in the other dugout, no matter who it is, does.
Hunt Palmer's with us from Omaha, anchoring our coverage there for LouisianaSports.net and 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Hunt, offensively, what has been the storyline for LSU, the biggest storyline for LSU in 2 games?
I think in 2 games, Milam and Curiel have been phenomenal. I think that, to me, the biggest deal is, yeah, you struck out 16 times in the game on Saturday. Yeah, you only scored the 3 runs in that inning when you got a couple walks and they hit you while you were trying to bunt. But the deal is, like, that's maybe the best pitching staff in the country that you saw from Arkansas on Saturday, and every single bullet was ready to fire. And there was just never going to be an at-bat in that game, no matter if it went 14 innings, if it was 10-9 or 1-0. Like, there was never going to be a comfortable at-bat because of how ready to roll that pitching staff was. And you don't really see that again the rest of the week. So, yeah, they struck out 16 times. You're facing Root and Gackle and Fouch throwing 98. Like, it's just really difficult. And so then you settle in the second game, and you see UCLA in their second day playing and their third day playing, and the bats are a lot more comfortable. And LSU didn't strike out as much, and they hit the ball down and hard, which is what you need to do in Omaha. The ball flew a little bit better in the Oregon State-Louisville game. They hit some balls out of the ballpark, hit some doubles off the wall. But you got to hit the ball down and hard, and LSU did a great job of that, especially with 2 strikes and with 2 outs. They drove in all their runs today with 2 outs, which was awesome to see. And it wasn't always pretty. Like, Dickinson didn't crush his, but he put it in play, and it found grass in right field. So I thought that Saturday was a tough matchup for the offense. Would have been a tough matchup for any offense in college baseball. And Arkansas, by the way, had a pretty tough matchup, too, with Anderson on the mound. Now that you're in the meat of this week, you should have some better bats. And LSU, I thought, really swung the bat well in this game last night and today.
I'd love to know your thoughts on what you saw from Jones today that differed from Saturday, aside from the fact that obviously you aren't facing the aforementioned Gackle and Gibbler and Faust.
Yeah, I can't. I'm being serious. I can't think of a worse matchup in all of college baseball for Jared Jones and Gabe Gackle, because it's that elevated, rising fastball at 96, and then he might have the best slider in the tournament. And that's just Jared Jones' nemesis, the high heat that's just vanishing up, and then that sharp slider, and it showed. But you saw a little bit lesser pitching, and he was awesome in this game. I mean, obviously, last night, the home run, he had 110 miles an hour at that launch angle. Like, there may not be another guy in the tournament that can do that, and he did it last night. And then today, against the guy that was throwing 97 miles an hour, I thought the swing that he made in the 8th inning to drive the ball to right center field was short and quick and just barrel straight into the zone, not trying to hit it into the bleachers. And it was a missile when LSU desperately wanted some insurance, and he gave it. So, look, he's a good hitter. He's been a good hitter for 3 years. He's going to strike out. He's going to strike out tomorrow. It's just that's part of the day of Jared Jones. But I don't need Jared Jones to go 4 for 5 with 4 singles like Derek Curiel probably does. I need him to go 2 for 4, 1 for 4 with a 3-run homer. He needs to make one of those big swings count. He made 2 big swings count in this game, and that's why he's in the lineup every day.
No doubt. 2 more things. One, if you do, we're playing the hypothetical. I know Jay Johnson and Nate Yeske might be working through they are working through all the scenarios. But if you do face Arkansas tomorrow night, Wednesday night, and you do face Beidel-Shees, who's a lefty, do you go Pearson or do you stick with Brown, who has been scorching for 2 games in this tournament?
They will go with Pearson. That's just what they're going to do. I like Jake Brown in the lineup too. I know where you are. But at this
I offered
point,
no opinion. I just asked you a question.
I'm just going off like hard data that we've seen. And they let Jake Brown hit against a couple left-handers, and one time they asked him to bunt, and that didn't go great.
Yeah, they didn't let him hit. They asked him to bunt with 2 strikes against a lefty. And I'm sure the last time Jake Brown bunted, he was probably 6 years old.
If it's Beidel-Shees, you'll see Pearson. The one thing that I always bring up when that happens is you always at that point do have Brown if you need him in the 6th, if you need him in the 7th, and Braswell's spot's coming up or something like that. They can go to him against a tough right-hander, and you feel great about him in a premium spot there. So I would rather him get 4 at-bats, but it is nice to know if he doesn't get 4 at-bats that his 1 could come in a huge spot if they do change the lineup up.
I'd always rather one of your best players hit a lot. That's probably a good idea to do. But you can reserve comment. I'll say it for us. Okay, last thing. Give us a set, like we can see the Jello shot challenge. LSU's doing good, but there was no fans in the stands today. It was 10 o'clock game. What's the LSU vibe like in Omaha right now? I mean, I know you were there for the championship series in 23, but what's the vibe like there now with the LSU fans here early in the week?
I would say it's like 50% of 23. 23 was the perfect storm. You hadn't been since 17, and you had Skeens and Cruz, who are quite literally generational guys, and you just knew that LSU was going to flood the place because they hadn't been in 6 years. And I think a lot of people came 2 years ago and did not feel the need to immediately sign back up. And, I mean, Arkansas outdrew LSU by a good bit on Saturday. I thought LSU's contingent was representative last night, and then today it was okay, considering the fact that there were no locals. And there are locals at every game in pretty big numbers. Omaha loves this event, and they show up for it. I do anticipate that some people will come now, and if LSU can win on Wednesday, I expect an absolute flood on Friday. So it has been a little bit underwhelming, but that's to be expected because everyone was here 2 years ago. If LSU gets to the championship series unscathed, I think people will. I think, first of all, I know that there are people that already have flights booked for that and have for weeks. And now I think that they'll cash in on that. And I think that LSU will have. I think there will be double the amount of LSU fans for a Saturday game than there were for last Saturday's game.
Are you following this Oregon State UCLA finish?
I walked outside as I was answering your call and saw that Louisville was just choking, just worse than you could possibly choke.
They made a pitching change, went strikeout, pop up, so they got out of it. And now in the bottom of the 9th, Louisville has loaded the bases with nobody out.
Oh my God, that shortstop's getting redemption. He let that ball go right under his glove. I mean, that is. I know. That's choking.
That's beautiful. Brutal, excuse me, but. Oregon State just gagged on one as well. On a little, I couldn't tell if it was a bunt or if it was a slow roller to the pitcher, but it was like a little chop play, and they couldn't field it. So bases loaded, nobody out for Louisville trying to eliminate Oregon State. This has been wild. All right, I'll let you go watch the end. Thank you for the time. Great work.
Yep, I appreciate it. Our goal was to get me to do laundry because I'd stayed here long enough. We're about to do some laundry, so we like that.
Before you left, I told you I hope I don't see you for 2 weeks. So that stands. Thank you, Hunt.
All right, Matt. See you.
All right, that's Hunt Palmer. Of course, Hunt Palmer Show, weekdays 1 to 3 right here on 104.5 ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge. Also anchoring our coverage, our LSU coverage for LouisianaSports.net. Remember, everything over at LouisianaSports.net is always totally free. There's no freemium. There's no subscriptions. There's no paywalls. It's just free. Just great content for free, so go consume it. LouisianaSports.net. Okay, quick break. We'll let you know. We'll watch how this game finishes, and let you hear a little more from Jay Johnson as LSU has advanced now 2-0. And he spoke a lot about the ability that LSU had offensively with 2 strikes and 2 outs in this game. So we'll get some of that as well as we continue here on AFR.
AFR.
GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. At Glow Resources, they like to say we are complete employer solutions. And if you're a business owner, I know this hits home because every business owner understands certainly that the right people are how you maximize efficiency. Think about a productive employee as compared to an unproductive employee and what that means for your business. So how do you find the right people? Well, Glow Resources specializes in that. And while their headquarters, home base, is on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge, and they serve Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and the state of Louisiana. They also have offices in Miami and Orlando and Houston, and they serve businesses all over, literally all over the country, doing business all over the world. If you need to find the right people to make your business the most efficient it can be, you need Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Atmos Energy, our smart choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
The pitch. It's a base hit up the middle to center field. They're going to wave Curiel around. Brennan just now getting to the ball out there in center. No throw coming in, and Curiel scores, and Milam does it again, the monster. With an RBI single, it's now 6-3 LSU.
Boy, has Stephen Milam been so good in this postseason. In this game against UCLA, 2 for 4 with a couple RBI against Arkansas. He had another bang-up day in that game as well. Forgive me, I'm trying to keep an eye here on the end of this game. So Louisville, this should do it. Oh, that's going to do it. Louisville's going to beat Oregon State. They'll walk it off on a sac fly. So Louisville will advance. Oregon State heads home. What drama. I mean, if you did not see how this one unfolded, I'll come back to Milam in a second. Louisville was up 6-3. 3 outs away. 6-3, top 9. They're 3 outs away. And they throw up on themselves. They're kicking the shortstop, lets the ball go right under his glove. I mean, it's atrocious. They allow a leadoff homer in the 9th, so it's 6-4, and then they load the bases with nobody out in a tie ball game. So Oregon State comes back, ties the game 6-6, bases loaded, nobody out. Louisville goes to the bullpen, goes strikeout, pop-up to get out of it, improbably. And then here in the bottom half of the inning, Louisville loads the bases with nobody out. Oregon State goes to the bullpen. They get a very questionable strike 3 call against the first hitters. They're a ground ball away from getting out of this and going to extras. And Louisville just hit a fly ball to deep center with the bases loaded. So sac fly, walk off, Louisville 7-6. The Louisville Cardinals advance. So in bracket 1, it's Louisville against Coastal Carolina. I'm not surprised by Coastal. Coastal was my pick to come out of that. So did you make a pick on that side of the bracket?
I did, and it was Oregon State, actually, was my pick.
Not a bad pick. They're a national seed, and they're playing great coming into this. Coastal was just, whatever. They've won 55 games. I mean, and that's
25 in a row.
It was just not a really strong half of the bracket. It was obviously not a strong half of the bracket. So, anyway, now you're going to see Louisville against Coastal. So Louisville will have to come back and beat Coastal twice. And it's so interesting with Dan McDonnell because that's a guy that there was a stretch where Louisville was pumping guys into the draft, and they went to Omaha 4 times in a 7-year span. And they had become they had a great run for a decade where they were becoming one of the the preeminent powers. And Dan McDonnell, every year, his name was in the running for head coach. Every big job that came up, his name was in the mix for it. Yet here they come, and not really a great Louisville team this year either. They were not a top 16. So to be here in this situation, good for them, I guess, but Louisville and Coastal, one of those teams is going to be in this championship series against either LSU or UCLA Arkansas, who play tonight. So they've moved this now. I just saw they flash up on the screen. First pitch tonight is 6:30. So they bumped it back. I guess you have to have an hour between games. Is that maybe the rule?
Yeah, probably.
So 5:20. It's 5:25 Central. So wait, hang on. Now this graphic shows 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Can we please could you see if you can find a confirmation there? Because ESPN, I'm watching the broadcast. ESPN literally just showed 2 different times.
I'll go to Arkansas's Twitter.
Literally in the span of 20 seconds, they showed 2 different graphics with 2 different start times. So I don't know, maybe if the broadcast starts at 6 and the game will start at 6:30. I mean, they don't typically have a 30-minute pregame. But anyway, what were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, I believe this game started, or Oregon State and Louisville, I believe this started at 1:30 after LSU's game ended.
So they just moved everything back half hour?
That's what I'm confirming that real quick.
I mean, this says, the website right here says 6:30.
And 1:43 Central was the first pitch for Oregon State and for Louisville. So they would have pushed that back. So I'm assuming they will do the same thing there. What I was scoffing at is, I mean, you could very just easily look at the hourly forecast and see that it does not even begin to clear until 9 p.m. Let's just, the definition of insanity, do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I guess that's what we're going to do tonight.
When I was looking at the forecast earlier, it looks much better now than it did a couple of hours ago. Because earlier, it was showing thunderstorms from 9 p.m. until 2 a.m. Now, what I'm looking at, again, this is from the National Weather Service, and I'm not trying to be, I'm not a weatherman. I'm looking at the same radar that we all look at, right? We look at the thing with the hourly forecast. It's showing thunderstorms at 7 p.m. So in Omaha. But then clear after that. So I don't know, what they're going to do, but I'm reading directly here. Thunderstorms expected around 7 p.m. Whenever that clears, maybe they get this game in. They just delay it a little bit, but I don't know what they're going to do, especially considering what happened last night. And it bears repeating. I get why everybody hates the sunshine delays, as annoying as they are, but what happened to LSU last night is why they do it. Because you burned Anthony Ianson on 90 pitches or on for 9 outs, and you had to use Case and Evans today. I mean, you forfeited an advantage. So I am very much hoping for chaos tonight in Omaha. I am hoping they have to start that game and it gets stopped and delayed, and then they burn pitchers and waste guys and then have to start it tomorrow. I'm hoping for chaos. Like I want to see LSU. I care about one thing. I don't care about the functionality of this tournament. I want LSU to win the tournament. And so whatever advantage they can gain by Mother Nature or whatever, I'm here for it. And they lost a huge advantage because of what happened last night. So, I mean, how different we feel right now if Anthony Ianson pitched last night, pitched great, you win the game, and now you have a day off today and you're queued up with Case and Evans tomorrow against one of these teams.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Amazing.
I mean, yeah.
Well, you lost that advantage because of how it was managed. It's why they do the sunshine delays.
Yeah.
Sunshine.
It is different, though, when the storm is imminently approaching Omaha and not a cell in New Roads. But yes, for sure. I mean,
I will tell
understand.
you that what I've had explained to me literally by NCAA tournament officials is they have to have 45 minutes on the front end to be able to do warm-ups, get the field ready, and an hour and a half on the back end. That's what they want. So you just look at what happened last night. They were able to start the game, and they played for, was it an hour and a half?
Yeah. No, yeah.
About 7:30.
You got into the fourth inning, yeah. So
you finished 3 innings. I think
3 innings normally takes an hour just at a normal pace. That had scoring and everything in it. So
second and third innings went very quickly.
Yeah.
But I can tell you when it stopped and delayed and pulled. Not that it really matters. But anyway, the point being, that's why they started. So I would be curious to see with tonight what happens. Because if, again, I don't know the forecast. I mean, I'm just looking at, we're all looking at 7-ish, 7-ish. Okay, if you're thinking you're going to start the game at 6:30, that does not give you an hour and a half if storms are imminent at 7. I don't know.
Bro, what are we doing? I get it, all the advantage you want to. But if you can clearly see there's rain, what does playing for 30 minutes do? What are you doing?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're going to play for 30 minutes. My understanding from regionals, because I had this conversation with the NCAA site official, with the Baton Rouge regional, the Friday where it got delayed 3 times and all that sort of stuff, which was you had to have 45 minutes on the front end, and then I believe, I don't have it written down, if it was an hour or an hour and a half on the back end. So you had to have that amount of clearing to be able to start because in their minds, with starting yesterday, as annoying as that is, right? In starting, I'll tell you right now. In starting, okay, well, we got 3, because what if they had to play full 9 today?
Yeah.
And then it's pushing these games back. And if there's weather, it pushes everything back. So they're trying to see if we have a window to get some of it in, get it in. And it's up to the coaches to figure out how they're going to do that. Let's see.
The good news is tomorrow looks phenomenal in Omaha.
Here you go. So game entered a weather delay at 7:20 p.m.
So
yesterday. So they started at 6. So they played for an hour and 20 minutes. And then they went into a 2-hour and 53-minute delay before calling it, and then resumed today at 10:03 a.m. So that's kind of it. So to your point, if we're looking at weather, if that first pitch is scheduled for tonight at 6:30, and there's weather at 7, that does not give you an hour and a half of clearance to start that game. So I'm here for it. I'm here for those teams to go play into the middle of the night, maybe to start, have to resume tomorrow. I don't know.
Arkansas has announced 6:30, so as of now, with an hour to go, I guess it's still on for 6:30.
ESPN just announced 6:30 and 6. But they announced both of them.
Bro, if they play for 30 minutes, that is going to be the most asimine thing probably ever.
But what I'm saying is,
I know what you're saying.
I don't think they will because of their rule. I understand we're an hour away from scheduled first pitch. What I'm saying is they'll wait here for 30 minutes, and if that storm keeps getting closer, and the people who are monitoring that there at Charles Schwab Field say this thing's coming, then I think they won't start it. No, we'll see. Okay, we're brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing. Visit parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Speaking of weather, you know what happens when weather rolls through? It screws up your roof. Well, if you got roof issues, we'd love to help you. The thing that I always encourage you to do is ignore the door knockers. Happened a few weeks ago, had hail in our neighborhood. We had 6 roofing companies. My mother-in-law was at our house that day. 6 roofing companies knock on our door wanting to do inspections. First of all, that is illegal. Second of all, who wants to be bothered like that? You want 6 different roofers coming to knock on your door to see if they can get up on your roof? Leeches. Got a better idea. Trust a local, reputable company. We'd love it if you'd give us an opportunity. Do business with someone you know. ParishBuilt.com is the website, ParishBuilt.com. Go to the website. There's Kim Mulkey right there on the homepage doing her testimonial because we've done work for Coach and members of her family. We've also done NIL deals with some of her players. Of course, Terrio is one of our partners. We all love the Tigers, and we do for the Tigers when we can, and we love to help them win. We'd love to support the home teams, so we'd love it if you'd help us do that. Parish Construction and Roofing. It doesn't matter if it's residential or commercial, the biggest, most complicated commercial roofing job. I had a residential call last week. Is a family lives in Mid-City in Baton Rouge. The oldest home in that neighborhood, about a 100-year-old home in that neighborhood with the original tile roof as well, was having issues. And it's a 2-story home. So there was a lot of roofers that it was so complicated, they didn't want the job. We'll take it. Doesn't matter how complex. We're here for it. Parish Construction and Roofing, ParishBuilt.com, ParishBuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. Visit ParishBuilt.com. Okay, y'all. Been a really good day as we've kind of been a de facto post-game show here for LSU and UCLA. Jimmy will be here. Otter Locks are already posted at LouisianaSports.net. If you want to go get the picks, they're there right now for free at LouisianaSports.net. Otter Locks are up. Jimmy will be here again in about 10 minutes from right now. We'll knock out a quick break. You can email us, tweet us, text us if you want to jump in. You can text the show on the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Like Richard said, would you rather the Arkansas-UCLA game get postponed until tomorrow in its entirety, have it start tonight, postponed in the morning like LSU? I mean, I want it to start tonight, burn Zach Root, stop, and then have to come back tomorrow and finish it. And then do exactly what happened to LSU, where they had to burn Case and Evans today. That's what I would love to see happen. Just gigantic disadvantages everywhere for everybody. That's what I want to see happen.
Except for Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, because they're just hanging out.
Who has gotten their full 2 days off. They're sitting pretty the shots.
They're hanging.
And make sure I don't pronounce their name wrong. Their coach might come kill me.
He's kind of jacked, too.
He is kind of jacked.
A little jacked.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight? Coastal's coach or Kevin O'Sullivan, who's also jacked?
I mean, it almost happened.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Coastal's coach, a little younger.
How old is he?
Schnall is his last name. I mean, Kevin O'Sullivan, he's
still jacked.
He's still jacked, but I mean, our guy's getting up there in age, man.
Schnall. Does that say he joined in 1979, or would he be born in 1979? That's weird.
Wait, are you talking about Schnall or
Schnall?
Okay, Schnall.
Or maybe that's just a Coastal.
Kevin Schnall. He's born in 77. He's 48.
77.
He doesn't look 48 at all. I mean, Sully.
That's got to be about how old O'Sullivan is.
I was about to say, they're mine. Oh, we might actually have something here.
Sully is 56.
All right, so he's still got him by 7 years,
though. I'm here to tell you. Tell you, Coach. Like, you said 48?
48.
So 48 and 56, that's 8 years.
8 years. That's even better.
Hashtag math muse. Look at that.
I'm not good at it.
Me either. But is this the second segment of the hour?
Yeah, let's break.
Oh, my God. Yeah, go to break.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Want to tell you about hormone replacement therapy. Okay? Yes, they do ED treatments. If you have ED, they can help you. Don't be embarrassed by it. Get help. They can help. Hormone replacement therapy. This can change your life. Men and women, by the way. Every one of us, as we age, our body produces less of the hormones that contribute to how we feel. It's a fact. Every human. Stress can be an accelerator. It's not about your biological age. It's about how you feel. How do you feel? Do you wake up in the morning energetic? Do you sleep well at night? Do you have a strong libido? Do you burn fat, build muscle, fired up to go into the gym, have that motivation? If not, TRT could change your life. It's also great for cardiovascular health. There's so much research indicates for prostate health. Learn more. Lowest prices, never any contract. Online, yourgoodwood.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Louisville Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Louva, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Big shout out Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. SunEquip.com. SunEquip.com. They're awesome, man. Bunky and below. You want you a Deere, you're going to Sunshine. We appreciate our partnership so much with Sunshine. Of course, they're also a proud partner of LSU Athletics. So much what we do interwoven with the Tigers, and thrilled, obviously, for all these great athletes that are having great success, and all the way to and hopefully through Omaha. Jay Johnson, this is what I was trying to get to in the last segment. We played Chris Blair's call to Stephen Milam's RBI single, but LSU's ability not only to hit with 2 outs, but getting Stephen Milam going has been so critical. And Jay Johnson, after the game, gave a little nod to his shortstop, who's just been absolutely on fire in this postseason.
Yeah, he's got a great feel for baseball, and he's usually pretty quick to make adjustments. As far as the performance in the NCAA tournament, it's just really stacking quality at bats, and when he's focused on that and not trying to do too much, as he said, taking what the pitcher gives him, he's a really good player, and I think it kind of can go unnoticed with our team. It's more than talent. It's really skilled baseball players, and he is at the top of that. And so when you have that kind of skill, you can make adjustments quickly and usually not stay down for long.
It is really, really curious how at the start of this season, we had such this gigantic question about the left side of the infield. Coming into the season, it was like, well, how was the rotation going to go? And a big part of that conversation was Shores coming off of injury and possibility of him becoming the Friday night guy. Cade Anderson trying to take a step from freshman year to sophomore year. He's been so good. Which of the transfers would sort of integrate, but really it was a lot about the left side of the infield. And then Curiel being a day one starter as a freshman. I mean, those were the types of things we were talking about. And he just so emphatically answered that. Even this year, at times, when the bat wasn't there in conference play, the glove was still awesome. And that's such in my opinion, a sign of mental toughness to be able to, when you're struggling at the plate, not to take that with you in the field, to still help your team the way that you have. But, man, you look at Milam, 2 for 4 in this game against UCLA. He was 2 for 4 against Arkansas. He was 2 for 4 in the Super Regional closeout against West Virginia. He was 1 for 3 in the first game against West Virginia. He had an 0 for 5 in the last game against Little Rock, but in that Sunday game against Little Rock, he was 2 for 3. He was 2 for 2 with a couple of walks in the game against Dallas Baptist. He was 1 for 1 with a couple of walks in the first game against Little Rock. He's just been incredible. That's in this postseason. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's got 12 hits in this postseason in 7 games. He got 12 hits in 7.
He entered the World Series at 421.
It's so good, man. So, in the postseason?
Yeah.
Including the SEC tournament?
No, including the SEC tournament, it was higher than that.
It's unbelievable, man.
I don't have I have it written down, but I don't have that with me.
Okay.
Sorry.
He's been awesome. It's just I don't say it often, but it's just where legacies are made at a place like LSU. It's what you do in the postseason. It's those are the things that we remember more than anything. And unfortunately, a lot of the regular season accolades get forgotten. But it's why I was so excited for a guy like Dylan Crews to win a College World Series, because in my opinion, Dylan Crews is the greatest position player ever to play at LSU. But he punctuated his career with a championship. I don't mean any disrespect with this at all. I hope you understand when I say this. But we remember guys like Blair Barbier, who Blair wasn't a big leaguer, but he was a great college baseball player who played second and third on championship team. He was a freshman in 97, playing second base when they won the College World Series. And he was a senior in 2000, playing third base when they won the College World Series. He bookended his career with national championships. He was a team captain, had a massive home run in the national championship game against Stanford. And to this day, he is still revered. A Louisiana guy who went to Brother Martin, came to LSU, 4-year starter, started second, third, and was all. And those are the types of legacies that are remembered here. And I want it, like all Tiger fans do, want it badly for a guy like Stephen Milam and for all the guys on this roster, because those are the legacy makers. And Stephen Milam's doing it right now. He's 12 hits in 7 postseason games right now. After where he was a 200 hitter in conference play this year. Stephen Milam was a 200 hitter in conference play. And he's got 12 hits in 7 games in this postseason so far. It's incredible. So you love to see him elevating his game. I love seeing him bat third in the lineup as well. You get your table setters and your run producers, and man, they've been really good. So Tigers will kick their feet up, relax tonight. They'll wait on the winner of Arkansas and UCLA, which is scheduled to start here in 45 minutes. We'll see what happens with the weather. And now the Tigers will await that winner with an opportunity to punch their ticket to the championship series. All right, it is After Further Review. We're brought to you by Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com. That's Evamore.com. Drink Evamore, y'all. They're awesome. I have my giant bottle, 64-ounce bottle of Evermore with me every single day. It's a healthier option. I always encourage you, don't drink tap water. Get that fluoride and all the other things in your tap water out of your life. At least filter it. But a better option is to go drink natural artesian water. That's a Louisiana product. Thousands of years in the making. Mother Nature's masterpiece. It's Evamore. EVAMOR, Evamore.com. Available online and at great local retailers. Okay, quick break. Otter Locks to wrap up the show next.
AFR.
As we get out of here, or close to get out of here before we get to Otter Locks, let me remind you about Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Sigourney Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Don Moore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local, and make sure you check out the Clegg's Nursery Facebook page. Hey, one thing especially now that we're into June, and it's that time of year, like the skeeters are coming back. And it is really, really, really important for me to continue reminding you about the Aeon mosquito barrier. Product I've told you about for years. It's about the size of a track baton with the little granules in it. You pop the top off, fill it up with water to the fill line, top back on, shake it up, hang it on your property line. You are done with mosquitoes for 90 days at a time. And things like $25. I don't know what it does. It's like magic, but I'm telling you it works. You want to get rid of mosquitoes? Go to Clegg's Nursery.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine. Sunequip.com. Sunequip.com. Get you a deer, brother. All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Doing much better. Louisville came back after blowing the lead in the ninth inning.
That was wild, man.
Nothing. Easy.
Oh, man.
Easy. That's when you put the sarcastic rocking chair there. Never a doubt.
Man, that shortstop, God bless. He is going to sleep better tonight, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Golly.
He went and hugged the cat who hit the sack fly. So
I bet he did. All right, what we got tonight, man?
All right, let's start if they play, or if it's pushed till tomorrow morning. We're going with the UCLA Bruins and the run line plus 2.5. So Arkansas, if it is a walk-off, they are the home team. You know, we always like to bet whether we pitching or catching. On the run line, we like to take the visitors. So UCLA is the visiting team. They will have their ninth at bat. Hopefully Arkansas will bat in the bottom of the ninth too, but that means it's close. But I don't see a ton difference in these two teams, coming in. I understand that Arkansas had the better season, better league. They're more feared, but I'm not so sure. Now UCLA's LSU looks considerably better than everyone right now, especially now that they actually got that great draw, and able to slay the Arkansas one of those losses with their best pitchers. So,
yeah.
Who wants to repeat? No. So get your best. Get the big boys.
1 minute remaining.
Reds minus 119. Abbott, we talked about him last week. He gave us a complete game shutout last week. Let's ride him again at only minus 119 at home. The Rays, we're going to ride them again. They're smoking. They won again last night for us easily. Our only winner last night is the 3 picks. But the Rays minus 115. Honest line there. Rafael Devers, that headache. He's going to San Francisco. Maybe he'll give them a few hits tonight. Minus 156 in a run line, the money line. And then Stanley Cup Game 6. All 5 are going over. We're going under 6.5.
Naturally. Where are you tomorrow?
We are at Roca Pizzeria on Government Street in Mid-City.
Great spot, man. Check out Otter and Hanny weekdays 11 to 1 on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. All right, Otter, we appreciate it. Good luck. Thank you.
Good luck.
All right, be well. That'll do it for us here. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. Remember, all coverage totally free at LouisianaSports.net. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding. They do shutters as well. Want to remind you about their impact-resistant windows. So for years, you probably saw those commercials where Brandon Holly had the crowbar and he's just hitting the crap out of the window and it doesn't break. They had one with Terrio with a baseball bat, wouldn't break. That's what we're talking about here. We have those windows at our home in the back of our house. They're all picture windows. Floor to ceiling, and it looks out to our pool in the back patio where we have a little pond behind the house. It's gorgeous to have that view. We also have the plantation shutters as well. I mean, you talk about beautifying the space in your home, but those windows are Cat 5 approved in Miami-Dade County. So when you think about in a storm, flying debris and busted windows, like that won't happen with these. That's number one. Number two, it's also going to make your home more energy efficient. So it'll keep a room with a lot of windows cooler during the summer and to lower your energy bills. It's Relief Windows. Learn more online at reliefwindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
You gotta believe in dreams. Believe. You gotta believe in a dream. Believe.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim